I don't believe they're frauds. I think they'll be there in the end.
Gee, what a season for the Raiders.
Yeah, considering everything that they went through, right? From the John Gruden things to the Henry Ruggs to the players with the gun
playing Call of Duty.
Either, but they're not even close to being the best team in their division. They're a wild card team at best.
If Derek Carr is not the quarterback of the Raiders, they're not here.
Kind of remake their roster a little bit here today. They matched Chandler Jones with Max Crosby. They had Rocky Sin in the secondary. They lose Yannick Ngakoue.
Davante Adams, in a massive move here, MJ, is headed to the Las Vegas Raiders.
NFL star, NBA star. Charles Winston jersey up the top, so it's been documented forever. So I guess you could say it's meant to be.
Yo, what's good, everybody? What's going on? Shit. It's been a fucking while, man. It's been a long while, man. Haven't seen you guys in a minute. Farrell, what's good? What's good? Hey, just want to give a big shout out to everybody that's going to be joining us today. I got Gravy. I got a couple other guys coming in. I know Avkasi just texted me right now. He's going to be on his way here in a minute, bro. Pretty much, man, I'm just going to get into pretty much what's been going on. Where I've been, whatever, not kind of just took. Basically, I'll just tell you guys this is what situation. I'm in school, I'm working, doing all kinds of crazy shit, right? So I haven't really had a chance. I've been watching kind of from afar, but like for me, like preseason and stuff like that, brother, like I love seeing these players come out trying to do what they had to do. It was nice, man. It was good, good conversation, everything like that. But now we're getting down to the brass tacks, what I'm saying? What we need to do moving forward. You know what I mean? This regime, bro, like has been fucking great. Everyone's making little comments here and there and losing their fucking mind over some shit that trips me out, bro. Like they're making a big ass deal. One of the biggest things that tripped me out, bro, me personally, was this whole Leatherwood shit. Because the simple fact is, bro, this is a business and people got to understand that this guy wasn't working. He never was going to work. And we're going to get more into that. But yet at the same time, you guys got to understand that these moves that they make are only to make the team better. It's not necessarily like, oh, the money, man. Money means nothing to us, bro. It means nothing to them. They're going to move money around the way they're going to do it, and they're always going to do that shit. You know what I mean? It's just a continuous thing, man. But anyways, we'll get more deep into it. I try to look at more of a player evaluation, how they're developing, how they're moving forward. And then, more like I want to give players props. You know what I'm saying? Constructive criticism, not breaking them down, man, because guarantee you I can't do it. And my boy that's about to get on there, he's teaching them young, bro, and he gets them going, you know what I mean? But yet at the same time, man, me and him talk about this shit off camera. There's no way we can do none of this shit, man, but we'll give them respect for what they do, and this is what we're going to do, man. So we got Gravy coming up right now. Here we go.
What's up, brother?
Shit, man, chilling.
Smoking a stogie already?
Nah, the one that when the other day when we were kicking it, this is the one.
That's not good for you early in this morning.
Oh shit, you didn't even want to know what I've been smoking this morning. Shit, what's good, man?
Just getting it, bro. Excited that you called me this morning and told me, hey, I'm going live. I'll be with you, man.
Yeah, I told you every Saturday. I kind of been lagging, bro. Like I was telling you, I kind of been lagging. I was supposed to have a new video. Shout out to Prez. Shout out to him. I was supposed to get with them fucking weeks ago. I've been so fucking busy. It's been crazy, man. And how you been, brother? What's been going on with you?
Chilling. Weekend finally. It's hot. It's hot out here. So,
bro, chilling
inside. Chilling inside most of the day, bro. If I could smoke inside, I would.
Yeah, shit. I know you're in the garage and shit, man. I'm like, I didn't know if I wanted to fucking light this bitch, but I was like, you know what? Fuck it, let me light it anyways. I was just like,
Nah, the wife ain't having. Wifey ain't having that, bro.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I have the door closed and everything, so I'm smoking out the room right now. But yeah, brother, shit. Man, it's been crazy, huh?
As far as the 50, about the 53 and all that, yeah.
I see everyone doing the 53, man. It's pretty deep. I didn't realize we had so many defensive tackles.
We did. We got a lot of them.
Yeah, bro. We had what, fucking 6 of them. It was 6 or something like that.
We got to get a solid one though. My brother.
Bro, I've been preaching this shit this whole fucking time, and you know I have, bro. It's fucking a committee, bro. Everyone can play positions, bro. They're gonna have to come in and do what they gotta do, bro. That's what it boils down to, man. You know,
I just want to,
go ahead,
bro. I don't want to find out that, you know, we have a problem with that against the Chargers. You know what I mean? We can't go into that game and gauge our defensive line, engage our secondary, because if we do that, then we're gonna lose the game.
Oh,
we got to hit that game running, and then we have 2 other division games out of those. The next 5 games, we got 3 division opponents. We got to win those games. Yeah.
Well, I see it's like 2-1. I don't want to call who. And I don't want to. I'm not. You know what? Fuck that. I'm gonna go 3-0. 3-0. What you think? Division.
Honestly, I'm gonna say 2-1. 2-1. We have a road game this game,
right?
And as much problems as I think we're gonna. I don't see any problems, but I'm just keeping my mind open that we ain't settled here yet. You know, the right side of that offensive line is still shaky to me, and if we go in there with a good game plan and put it together, then it doesn't matter who you have out there. So,
Gravy, come on, bro. Like you still like tripping on the line?
Well, right side. Well, I'm not doing it because of Leatherwood, bro. I'm not doing it because he's gone. Right. I'm just not sure, you know.
So you don't think Luminor, like what we've been talking, like I've been calling out this shit since fucking some Jump Street, bro. I knew Luminor was gonna be our right tackle, bro.
Well, I'm looking at it as Luminor against Mac, Luminor against Bosa if they switch.
Well, Bosa, I'm not worried about whoever goes on that side. Miller got him. Their defensive tackles are pretty good too. So our guards we have to worry about. Like, and I was saying it earlier on off Cassie's that Raider Ray had made a comment about, like, you know, the whole Leatherwood thing or whatever or not. But even though I've always stood my ground with that, I just didn't know who our guards were going to be. Now Parker is being injured is almost kind of, I think it's almost a blessing in disguise. You know what I mean? And I see Luminor lasting a solid 5 to 6 games, and let Mumford get his little burn in. You know what I'm saying? And then let him come in, and then Luminor can move into guard or whatever or not. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather go experience right now for the first like 5 or first month of the game, first quarter of the season. I'd rather do that, and then let Mumford kind of develop into game speed and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Let them settle in.
I'm looking at games, bro, matchups. You know, if Luminor has a problem with the speed rusher,
you got. We're gonna have to chip. That's what we're gonna have to do all day,
especially on the right side.
Yeah, you know, Jacob's gonna have to come in, or what's the name? The fullback can just be like a tailback type situation and just guard that right, bro. Yeah, hey, the link's in the chat, bro. Let me give it a little shout out real quick. Shout out to Ben, Mike. I forgot, man. I had to do this. Ben
Guerrero.
Pharaoh, I put the link in the chat. Michael Guerrero, my number 1 draft pick, was good. Rated 10. That's my boy right there. If you ain't subscribed to him, go to him. Get subscribed. Sean, my brother. This guy, man, I love this guy. He's always giving me all the shit. We go back and forth all week long. I have more conversations with him than I do with my mother. It's crazy. No.
Pharaoh, more than me? You holler at Pharaoh more than me?
No. Sorry.
Pharaoh got me jealous.
Don't say nothing. Yeah, I put the link in the chat, man. Anybody wants to jump on in, man, come on in, man. We're going to be here for about like maybe 2 hours, hour and a half, depending if Gravy's getting on my nerves or not. If Gravy's getting on my nerves, I'm going to be out, bro. But shit.
So
yeah.
I should do that already, just so I can get all my shit done today.
There you go. Fucking like we're just done. All right, man. Thank you guys. See you later. Peace.
Before we talk Raiders, though, okay, we both from Fresno. Did you check out the Dogs this weekend?
I did not.
Wow.
Listen. All right. Mind you, okay, I've been my personal shit, I'll just say a little bit. I'm on 2-a-days, bro. So I'm sitting over here working out twice a fucking day, bro. Crazy shit. I'm fucking burnt out, right? So I've been crashing out, bro. I was crashed out by 6 o'clock yesterday. Woke up at like fucking 8 o'clock, hungry. Passed back out. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's why you didn't answer your phone, man. Because I
was done. You know what I mean? Plus, I'm up at 4. So, anyways, I am going to watch the game after this. I was going to watch it this morning, but you know, I seen a Cropper. Cropper, that guy, man.
No, his name is Moreno Cropper now.
Yes, because of his
you hear his story. You hear his story, bro?
I know the family, bro. I know the family.
That's dope.
His tia, Veronica, she's a real good friend of mine. She's a very, very nice person. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, was he adopted or something?
No.
He was born into that family.
Yeah.
Dad. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Mikey said salute, brother. Hey, Sean, we're gonna get to this real quick, but I got 2 of my boys in the back right now, man. We're gonna just bring them on in. I know one's from the future, and I hate saying that, bro. I'm gonna say one more time, Afkasi. That's it. I'll never say that shit again.
He gets mad when you say it.
Nah, it's not that he gets mad. Afkasi was good, bro. It's not that he gets mad, but it's just like, bro, you're in the future.
Yeah, you know what? I don't like that you say it. You know what? It's on site. Come on.
Yeah, there you go.
I ain't working out, bro. I'm cool. I've been eating a lot.
Nah, come on. I'm a nice guy. You would know I wouldn't do that to you.
Put up your dukes. Put up your dukes. Put up your dukes, Dirty Low. Put up your dukes. Yeah, there you go.
Shit. All right, we got my boy King of the 420. You know, shout out to my boy Gabe, man. I should be
he ready.
What up?
Ready?
Yeah.
Again.
It's early, man.
Like I've seen you guys before somewhere. Just a few years.
We've been here before.
Long time no see, guys.
Yeah, too long. Yeah.
Like breakfast bacon. We're waking bacon.
Yeah, when you sent me the StreamYard link, like I didn't realize it was your time to start, so I was like, oh shit, I'll wrap my things up and get everyone to try and come over to you because I didn't want to get into your time. So yeah, just out of respect.
Man, thank you. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, me and Afkasi been playing a little bit Madden on there. He's been whooping my ass, bro. The last video was fucking horrible. I got a call from.
Although to be fair, you had all the momentum until you got the phone call.
Yeah, fucking dad. I even cussed him out. I cussed my dad out, but no, I didn't. That'll beat my ass, bro.
Can I just ask you real quickly though? Did you go back and watch the footage of that Max Crosby play?
No, I don't need.
Because you questioned me about that being user.
Moving on. I'll check it out, bro. I'll check it out.
Oh, good.
I've only played one time in that Madden 23, and I played my nephew the other day at his house, and that got me to think I shouldn't be playing Madden.
Gabe, just on that, man.
I feel like 9 interceptions.
Bro, I was the same. When I first picked up Madden, I played my first Madden was Madden 09. I lost every game. I just dove straight into online. I don't care about offline. I just went straight to online. I was getting my butt kicked, game in and game out. Madden 10, same, getting my butt kicked, year in, game in, game out. It wasn't until like Madden 11 I started to kind of put it together. Madden 12, that's when I started to really start kicking some ass and taking some names. So it takes time.
My little godson, my nephew, he was trying to hustle me though because he was like, I'll bet you $20 that I could beat you by 40, right?
What? You got your little devil hustling you, man?
He's my godson, but he's like 22 years old. You know what I mean?
Even that's a hustle.
But he was like, I'll bet you $20 I could beat you by 40, right? And I was like, nah, I just want to play, right? And then he's like, during the game, and he I guess he was like letting me score or something because it was like close. It was only like 20 to 14 or something like that. So then he's like, I'll bet you, and it's already the second quarter, right? And he's like, I'll still bet you the $20. And I was thinking about it, I was like, I can score on this fool. Bro, the next couple fucking quarters, he beat me by 50, 60. I was like, damn. I knew I shouldn't have bet him, and I did it. That's good.
But Madden, like it is to a point like a game of momentum, like not just the mechanics of the game, but also your mindset. Like what happened to you the other night, and it's happened to me on stream where I've been blown out 20, 30 points. It's like quicksand. You make a bad play, and then another one, and then another one, and it's in your head. You just like you're doing all kinds of stupid stuff that you usually wouldn't do. So, yeah.
But to my,
I got somebody in the chat, bro. Not in the chat, in the fucking backstage, bro. What is it, backstage?
What?
Was it backstage? Yeah. Backstage. Anyways, well, we'll get back to the conversation right now. I'm sorry. Just fucking drew a blank, bro. It's been a long morning. Anyways, I got my boy Pharaoh in the background, man. I haven't seen him in a minute. He's gonna jump on right now. Here we go. We're gonna chop it up.
There he is.
What's good, man? How y'all doing, man?
Good, all right.
Y'all ready for the season, man? It's literally like a little more than a week away.
8 days.
I mean, 8 days, and I'm still not confident in that O line. I'm still not confident in that right side. But I'm confident in this coaching staff. I'm confident in Derek Carr. I'm confident in the weapons we have. I'm confident in some of the players on defense, like Max Crosby, Chandler Jones. So there's a lot to look forward to, man. But I want to hear from y'all, man. It's been a minute since we chopped up football. So
what? Pharaoh finally. Me and Pharaoh agree on something. That's word, bro. That's
man. Nah, that's like, you right, man. That's the elephant in the room. Yeah. That's the elephant in the room is the O-line.
That's why you went. That's
Jacob Johnson, though. Jacob Johnson helping out on that right side a lot. You know what I mean? As a fullback, I see him helping out a lot on that side, and Colton Miller holding down, his side.
Sorry, just on that, Gabe. Do you really see Johnson being that chipping back? I mean, usually it's a running back out of the shotgun. I don't think we're going to see that from Johnson. I think he's just going to be a run blocking fullback rather than that pass protecting shotgun running back.
So I don't see any other back that could do it on that squad. Maybe Jacob, but
Bolden, Abdullah, can they do it?
Jacobs is a good
because ideally you want a true running back to have that role who can be a legit guy you can hand the ball off for a draw play or a run play. You know what I mean? Like Johnson just ain't that.
Well, we know it ain't Waller.
Right.
No.
Moreau is all right at it. And then this kid that we kept, he's still young, so maybe if they do have him on the outside, they're gonna have to solely concentrate on that side of getting rid of that pass rusher. I don't think the fullback is gonna be able to do that because
the good thing is his blind.
I wouldn't want him to do it. Sorry, Gabe.
I said the good thing is not his blind side.
Right.
Yeah, he's going to see it. He's going to be able to see that if it does break down, Carr will see it because it's on his right side.
But the bad thing is that it's either going to be Khalil Mack or Joey Bosa on that side. You know what I mean? I think that, like putting the best pass rusher on the blind side is kind of like a thing of the past. That was like something that we always expected the best pass rusher to be on that blind side. But it's for a few years now. It's been a while where we see the best passer, like a guy like Khalil Mack, who's kind of been on the other side. And I think defensive coordinators, they're taking the strategy of like, why don't we just attack the weakest O-lineman or weakest tackle on the line? Not necessarily saying that they're a bad O-line on that side. It's just usually the left tackle is the best tackle, right? Because it's the blind side, right? So wouldn't you want to put your best pass rusher against the weaker tackle, you know what I mean, to get that matchup? So, but either way, man, hey, like I think someone in the chat was mentioning a lot of screens. Hey, we going a lot of quick passes, a lot of screens. That's probably going to be the game plan, and then maybe a random play action, throw it deep, just to keep the defense honest. But that D line is coming.
What do you guys think about this?
Point? Sorry, go.
What do you guys think about Tom's question?
Whose question?
It's on the screen, bro. We do a lot of screen
that's
plays.
little, bro. I can't see.
Oh
that.
Yeah,
that's little.
I'm sorry, I gotta read. You think we do? No, do you think we do a lot of screen passes, quick releases? Due to the Chargers pass rush. That's what he's asking.
If we do, I just want to see it working. Like how long have we done that and it just doesn't work? Sorry, Dino.
I just think it's going to be a balancing act, dog. Like if we could get the run game going early, that's just gonna help out all of that because I think the quick release it helps, but like Afakazi's saying, you're gonna have to dink and dunk, and you're gonna have to, you know, hope that these guys can break tackles. I mean, I have confidence in that though too, because I mean, you got Devontae Adams, bro, like one of the best at yak. So it's like I can see that happening, but it's not sustainable. They're gonna have to open it up at some point, regardless.
Yeah, man, I agree, miss. Because what's gonna happen is that maybe because you know the Chargers are hungry. You know the Chargers, that D line, they after what happened last game of the season, they didn't make the playoffs. You know that whole Chargers team, the whole staff, they're hyped up, the fan base, everything. They're all gonna be hyped up. It's gonna be in LA, right? It's not gonna be in Las Vegas. So you know, the two Charger fans is gonna be at the stadium. They're gonna be hyped up. You know what I'm saying? You know, we always gotta throw that in there. We always gotta make fun of their fan bases, whatever, if it exists or not. But
San Diego Chargers,
yeah, basically San Diego Chargers, whatever you want to call it. But anyways, that strategy of the quick passing and screen, it's gonna work for a little bit, but they're gonna catch on.
Yeah,
so they're gonna have to change it up. So it's almost this is where the coaching staff needs to outcoach. This is a good game where the coaching staff can outcoach them, especially that they don't have that right side of that online kind of settled, because we don't know what they're gonna do. Who's gonna start there? A lot of people say Illuminor, which I can see happening.
I can see.
Yeah, you know, I don't know Mumford
by default.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be by default unless they make a move for a veteran. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? I heard that the Raiders put like 7 claims. They didn't get not one of them.
But they need to have somebody that's familiar with it. Because remember, did you see the pivot interview with Tay? I remember him saying that this shit is so complex. This shit is so bringing in somebody this late will be so like almost damn near impossible to pick up. This thing, you know what I mean? So they would need somebody that's familiar with the system.
Yeah. Sure, but do you think like how complex the offense is the same for an O lineman than a wide receiver, for example? Because a wide receiver has to like literally, I think like damn near every route's an option route. You know what I mean? Every receiver has an opportunity to get it. Like from what I was hearing, every receiver on offense has an opportunity to get the ball. Like other offenses, there's probably like 2 receivers that are decoys, and then the guy that's going to get the ball. But like in this offense, everybody has a chance. Everybody's live. You know what I'm saying? So I think for a receiver, do you think a receiver, it's harder for a receiver to learn this offense or O lineman?
O line, without a doubt.
O line, just because it's so fucking much, like you gap coverage, and where it's just passing things off, and like when you're gonna be able to pass it off to this guy, or calling out a stunt if you see it, or like it's tough learning the offensive line quick like that, man. It's just tough.
Can you remember any time in however long that we've ever brought in a guy off the street to plug into our offensive line and they started day dot after being with the team for a week? Because to your point, that is a good point. Like I have never seen that happen, and if it has happened, then it hasn't turned out well for us, right?
Yeah, I want to shout out Ray real quick, bro. You can pull up anytime you want to. The links in the chat, I'm gonna put it in there again real quick, bro. And and then Auntie, anybody wants to pull up, bro, it's wide open. Y'all can come in anytime you want to. You know what I mean?
This is
everybody's time.
One quick. If we do bring in somebody, let's like us, everybody, let's just not expect him to play right away. Let's give him some time to think and not just hope that he's going to be thrown in there, because it's just right to bring him in and have him start even the first 4 games. I think he would need like a good time to where he has like a good little at least type training camp type where he's learning the offense for like a month or so, because I don't see him coming in right away and plugging him in.
Yeah, I agree. You're just asking for trouble if we're going to do that. Someone who's not familiar, someone who's coming in cold, you're asking for trouble, especially if the likes of Khalil Mack. Yeah, I that's a good point.
So if they do bring in an O lineman that's a veteran, that's solid, you're saying that at least for that first game, Illuminor is going to be starting, and then moving on, they're going to have to figure it out from there.
Yeah,
at tackle.
Games.
At tackle.
If he's a guard, bring him in. Bring him in if he's a guard. If he's a tackle, he has to wait a little. Unless he's from New England or he has ties to McDaniels, so he knows that he can catch up on it fairly quickly. But I think if it's a week away tomorrow, that's Illuminor is going to be in there.
Or best case scenario, Illumina balls out.
Yep. Then we don't have a problem anymore.
We don't have to. Yeah, we won't have to worry about anything other than a depth piece.
Yeah,
But this is what I think, bros, about what the problem is with San Diego, because I've always seen this in this dude is that he does the straight coaching, philosophy that they run. They're a physical running team, but they're not really physical. And they got a great quarterback, and then they have a good running back, but they don't use them very well. So what we got to do is what we did the last time we played them is get this guy to be analytical. Let him go into the numbers upstairs and say, well, this dude punted at his own 30-yard line against us. Who in the hell does that shit? I don't know a coach that would agree with that ever. They punted at our own 30-yard line, and that was the analytical thing that the numbers were probably so small that he would do. So we get him talking upstairs saying, well, what are the chances of me getting this first down doing this? And it says 51%. The dude's gonna do it because it's 1% over half. And if we get him like that, he always fucks up. He always messes up, just like he did last year. But if he learned his lesson from last year, then he won't do that. But if we get him that way, we got that game sold up.
Hey man, I think we got a. I don't say we got a huge advantage on defense, but I think the fact that Herbert didn't. This is a brand new defense.
Yeah,
brand new defense. We're not going to be playing the same two defensive calls that we were playing with Gus Bradley. We're going to be playing. We're gonna be playing a defense where a defensive coordinator likes to disguise a lot of the things that he likes to do and blitzes too. You know what I mean? We're gonna see a lot of blitzing. And hey, man, Chandler Jones on the other side now. Chandler Jones on the side. Max Crosby. You know what I mean? That D line. Even though our D line was always I would say they was always competing against their O line. Their O line is solid. The line is pretty solid, but I think that we do have a little bit of advantage with that defense, and they don't know really what to expect. They probably can look at like old, Patriots, Giants, defenses or whatever, where Patrick Graham was had a hand in like coaching that defense. But I think that's probably going to help us a little bit on the defensive side of the ball. The fact that they don't really know 100% what to expect from our defense.
Just on that, I'm going to take a particular interest in our secondary.
Mm-hmm. All right, hold on real quick. Let me go ahead and first time guest. He's actually really, really blowing up a lot right now. Like all of his stuff that he's doing, man. He's a great dude. OG, Sean Johnson, all introduced me to this guy. And first time I had a conversation was on OG's channel. It's the first time he's been on my channel. Everybody go to give a warm welcome to Raider Ray, bro.
Yo, what's good, y'all?
What's up, man?
Good, man. How you been, man?
Good. How you doing, Farrell?
Fresh cut.
Good, bro.
Had that fresh cut. Yes, sir. So yeah,
how you feeling, bro?
Good. How y'all doing? I'm hopping in late. What are you guys talking about?
But we talking about the team, man. What to look for. I think the last thing we was talking about was the defense and how it might be a little bit of an advantage for us. The fact that we have a brand new defense, and Herbert and the Chargers don't know what to really expect, because the way and I didn't touch on this one thing before I let y'all kind of talk about this, is that like the fact that like we don't really know what to expect from this. Even as fans, we don't even know what to expect from the Raiders offense and defense, because a lot of the strengths that McDaniels as coaches and Patrick Graham is to play to the strength of the players that they have. So expect something that, a defense and offense that's going to play the strength of Devontae Adams and Waller and Jacobs. And then obviously on defense, Max Crosby, the Chandler Jones, and everybody else. So that's something that's going to play to our advantage. I feel like that they don't know what to expect. We know what to expect. The players know what to expect, because the same players from last year, except, obviously added some talent though.
What's Chargers defense like outside of that pass rush?
Pretty good.
Anyone know?
Derwin James, that's it.
Derwin James, I like. You don't like Asante Samuel Jr., young pup.
Yeah, they got him.
Young player out of there.
They got that good linebacker.
They got Van Noy too. They just got Van Noy from fucking New England. They got they're pretty good, man. They're pretty good on the defensive line for sure.
JG Jackson, is he going to be hurt this game? Is he going to play?
Practice, he's hurt. I don't think he's going to be ready.
What about their offensive line? What's that like?
That's pretty
Pretty
good.
O-line is good. I think it was a rookie last year that was one of the best in the league. You know what I mean? He came in.
The thing about the Chargers is they've got a lot of talent, right? It's for me, it comes down to coaching staff this game, and I think what goes for the Raiders' advantage is, like Pharaoh was pointing to, is this is a new defensive scheme. This is a new head coach coming in on the offensive side of the football who is predominantly known for his offensive play calling. So when you're going into a matchup like that, we kind of understand what the Chargers are going to be doing, right? They're going to make a few adjustments and a few tweaks here and there. But for the Raiders' perspective, the fronts, the coverages, everything that you could hide, it's the first time you're going to be seeing this Raiders defense, and that plays an advantage for the Raiders. So you can throw a multitude of things at the Chargers, and I think it's going to bode well. It's why I'm giving the Raiders an edge for the Week 1 game.
Right. Hey, I'm gonna get to Sean's question right here. He pretty much says Darrell Williams is the only guy I can think of starting fast on the O-line. Than anybody else that's out there, but there's a reason why he's not being signed. It's not physical, or it must be other reasons.
Money.
I always like Sean's. Yeah, but that's what I was thinking about too. Like, I was really thinking about that. Maybe we're gonna go these next couple of games, see where he's at, or see if these other guys that are, basically like cut from team or haven't picked up contracts, see if they really want to play, because they might want to step in. And then if we do pick up something like that, we do have extra money, on the books to bring in, a player like that. So maybe we can, going on into the dog days of the, into the winter seasons, we'll have that depth, and maybe some of these players that are out need a couple weeks, and maybe we'll get them on a cheaper price. So that's what I'm thinking. I mean, anybody else can answer it.
I can see him. Well, I've heard even shit from even to like that he's maybe even contemplating retirement or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's that could play a big part, because he's a very serviceable tackle, bro. So I don't know why there hasn't been more talk about him around the league about him signing anywhere. So it's like there has to be something behind it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, to still be a free agent at this point, when Week 1 is like next week, if he's supposed to be one of the better, well, he is the best offensive lineman that's supposed to be healthy and still on the market, there's got to be more to it. I mean, I'm sure we've inquired. I'm sure other teams who are tackle needing have inquired too. There must be more to it. There's got to be. And it could be, to your point, he might be contemplating retirement.
Yep. Auntie, what's up, man? Salute, bro. You can jump on if you like, or if you're at work, man. Good luck on your date tonight, bro. Be yourself. Remember, it's like a fart, bro. If you have to push it, it's shit. So, anyways, sorry, bro. Question to everybody: why?
Damn, that's messed up. He's talking about his game, bro. He's talking about his game, man.
Sorry. The question is to everybody that he asked is, why are we keeping Amik over Mullen? Anybody go? I'll jump on line.
Oh my God!
I think go ahead, bro.
Mullen rubbed them the wrong way from get-go, and then Amik has just been that, what they say, a good, locker room dude. He's been killing it in camp. He's been so in the games. I've seen him get burnt. Against Miami, he was getting fucking torched. I just think, I don't know, man. Mullen was just the writing was on the wall. He was hurt, constantly being hurt. I mean, coming in, the regime comes into, into power pretty much, and he's hurt. And then he draft comes where they might be able to move him. He opts for surgery, and it's just, I think he was rubbing the wrong way since the beginning.
Yeah, Gravy. I was on Sultan's live the other night. Shout out to him and to you, and you guys were very. I think it was mostly you, maybe someone who was pretty high on Amik. And again, on Dirty Raiders Live, we had a debate about Amik. I stand by what I said. Like, I'm not sold on him at all. He hasn't shown me much. Whereas I know you, Gravy, you're pretty high on him, and a few others. So maybe you can share us what you think.
The thing about Amik that I've always said is that I've seen him, and the kid can cover, but it's humanly impossible for him to get these big receivers out of the way. But what I think Graham is doing with him is the perfect thing. Is you seen him on that last game blitz, you seen him tackle. Yes, Every DB has their moments of getting burnt, unless you're, Del Reeves or Ramsey or the old day corners. I'm not saying Amik is like that. Amik, to me, can cover better than Rock Ya-Sin. He was close of coverage to Mullen. But if you got to look at Amik and see what he does. But I know what you guys see, and you're thinking I'm an idiot. But I'm gonna think that.
No, I don't think you're an idiot.
I'm gonna say that Amik is gonna make a lot of plays, and then you're gonna see the plays that he gets burnt on because of his size, or the transition of playing corner, putting him on a man-to-man or a zone on a guy. It's impossible for him to do the way that the receivers are now. But if it's inside, you know how we always leave the middle wide open, and then they get a first down, and then it pisses me off when that happens. He can be that little person in the middle that the quarterback would see but not throw to get the high ball. If someone's there, the quarterback won't throw it there unless Herbert can do it. He's smart enough, he's physical enough to do it, but he's that little gadget guy that we thought that Abrams would be, that we thought what Hobbs would be. And Amik's not scared to do that. That little dude will go in there and bash against linebackers. He'll bash against running backs, he'll bash against offensive linemen, and he's going to get to the quarterback. That's a perfect area where I think Amik could be. In the flats where he could just dive and get the ball and not really cover somebody deep or something like that. But his coverage, as far as that, will be similar to what Hobbs was in the box, to me. But if you look at that, if you watch like after the game and you watch him meet, you'll see him not really show the big things as far as getting thrown to, and they're going to get some completions in the middle and stuff like that. Those screens, Amik will be there. Those wide receiver screens, Amik will run and go get those. Because we're losing Hobbs, guys. They're going to take Hobbs. Hobbs is playing corner. He's covering. So if it's man, he's going to be back there. And if it's zone, he's still going to be back there. So we need that Hobbs guy to be in the middle.
Yeah, I'm gonna chime in real quick and I'll let y'all take it over. But I think with Amik, you know what I mean? I want to believe in Amik. I remember when we drafted him, they were saying he was a great draft pick. Dude was a playmaker, had all these interceptions and all this type of stuff. And I remember a few weeks back, I was talking to Avakazi and I was like, man, Amik Robinson's having a great camp. But the thing is, when game time happens, though, he does fail to make a play on the ball. That's one of the things I noticed during the game. Like he doesn't really make he's there, but he's not making a play. Maybe it's because of his size, but sometimes he does have the size, but he just hasn't made that play yet. But like Gabe was saying, he won over the coaching staff. Mullen early on in the offseason, you could hear his unhappiness with how things was going. I don't know if it was with the coaching staff, the team, whatever. And this was like on Twitter. He was just leaving like cryptic messages and stuff like that. So just like, oh, okay. And then he's been out.
Players do that. I really do.
You know what I mean? And then he was out for a long period of time. Now, talent-wise, obviously Mullen is better than it's always good to have a lot of good corners. And Mullen is better than Amik. It's not even not even a discussion.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I think it was just a matter of like what Gabe said, is just coaching staff favored a guy that won him over, that they knew what to get from him. And at the end of the day, Amik's a role player. He is a role player. And how my man over here, coach over here was talking that football talk, you know what I mean, that coach talk. He was just, hey man, he could play if he could just play to how they, where they can fit him in on that defense. And how I mentioned earlier, the coaching staff is going to put players in a position to succeed. So Amik Robinson, he's not going to be on the outside against a big corner. That's the worst case scenario. Something terribly went wrong if you see a 6'5" receiver and Amik is guarding him. You know what I mean? That means that coach outcoached our coach. That's basically what that means. I'm gonna let y'all take over, man. Y'all can talk
they put the matchup on Amik. 6'5" against 5'9". Come on, man. Even if he has the hops, that's still going to be difficult because the receiver has to jump and get it.
The big thing for me when it comes to go ahead, Avakazi.
No.
Okay. The big thing that comes with me when Amik Robertson, like when I turn on his game tape at LA Tech, like the guy wasn't thinking. And it's like when he's got with the Raiders organization, and I watch his film here, he thinks so much on the field. He's hesitating. He's second guessing. He's not like trusting his natural instinct to go over and like at LA Tech, he had those 14 turnovers. Why? Because he wasn't thinking. He was going out there and playing ball. In the Raiders scheme, I've just seen Amik on tape thinking too much hesitation, too much second guessing, trying to predict these guys' routes. And it's really stalled his game. To me, honestly, the Mullen move was a little bit more surprising than Alex Leatherwood. I kind of seen the writing on the wall a little bit with Alex. Pharaoh had brought up on my show about the cryptic tweets about Trayvon Mullen. So I was looking into that. And if you look at Mullen, like over the offseason, he's on yachts, he's partying a lot, he's hanging out with all these women. And it's like, it doesn't remind me of the same Trayvon Mullen that we got early in his career. And I think that more so than anything had a lot to do with it, because when you're talking about a skill set, I think everybody forgets how good Trayvon Mullen stepped up for us when he was actually healthy. When he was healthy, he's actually a pretty decent cover corner. I'm not going to say he's elite or any of those type of traits, but he's a good cover corner, and I thought he gave you good depth in the back end of this defensive unit. You know, pairing him with a Rock Ya-Sin and an Anthony Averett and a Nate Hobbs, you were talking about a pretty good group of 4 cover corners out there that if the front 7 could get after it, you're talking about a potentially really good defense. So I don't know. I'm not thrilled that Amik Robinson and Sam Webb are those depth pieces, because if something were to happen to Hobbs or Rock or Anthony Averett, you're really talking about some guys on the field that could really get exploited out there.
If Amik is our backup corner, we're gonna be in trouble.
For sure.
We're gonna be in trouble.
The way I see it is, I agree with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Me
No,
personally,
you can't agree with everybody. You have to agree.
Hey, it's my party, and no, so no, like I agree, because like what Ray was saying is like when you look at his tape and all the the turnovers, what I like about Amik, he goes into players' chest. He goes for the ball. He regardless of size or whatever or not, he goes to the chest. He goes for the arms. He goes for the ball. That's one thing I do like. And that's why I think he's more of like I would say like a honey badger, kind of just like trying to get into some shit. Mullins is kind of timid. He blocks off, and then he's kind of he's a different player. To me, he's a different player compared to Amik. Amik's a dog.
Oh, they're two complete different styles.
Yeah.
Like Amik is going to have to get
you know,
down.
I would like to add this too.
You frozen?
You froze.
I'm losing y'all. Can y'all hear me?
There you go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Frozen covenant.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
All right, cool. One last thing I want to add too, that no one really is talking about. This is a huge vote in confidence of Nate Hobbs.
Right.
This is why they made this move. This is probably the biggest reason why they made this move. Because Nate Hobbs is like that dude. He was that dude in training camp. He's that dude with this coaching staff believes in this player. And that's a big thing, because he's a player that was from a previous regime. So they instantly recognize like this dude's a playmaker. He's a guy that we can count on. And to me, that's probably the biggest reason. It's not because of they didn't really like Mullen like that, possibly. You know what I mean? We can speculate, but I think the biggest reason was the fact that Nate Hobbs made that decision easier. You know what I'm saying?
I've seen that shit same shit too. Like every great corner moves to the outside. If you start at the slot, every great corner goes to the outside, and he's gonna be our next great corner. To me, I think he's gonna be at one point in his rookie deal, he will become all pro.
Oh yeah.
Can I ask the question? I mean, Gravy, I'm on the other side of the fence. We've debated it on previous lives, and I respectfully disagree. I never would say you were stupid for thinking what you think. Like,
Yeah.
you believe what you believe, and I respect that opinion. Can I just ask a question though? Like, we can all agree he's a depth piece at the moment. Like he's 4th, 5th down the chart. I mean, I get it. He brings to the table. He's good at he's decent when it comes to run support, and he can if he's called upon, put some decent pressure on the quarterback. But to me, those are luxuries. They're not like the main thing that you're looking for in a depth corner. Am I right? I mean, it's supposed to be coverage, and for me, I've never seen it from Amik. And when I have seen him getting into that position, he doesn't make a play, and that's for me is the most damning thing. And if we're looking at his strengths at being a run support and a blitzing cornerback coming off the edge or wherever it may be, I mean, for me personally, if we're calling upon anyone to do that, it'd be Nate Hobbs. Nate Hobbs does that, in my opinion, a lot better, way better than Amik Robertson, and he's a starter. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, but he's starting that corner
how
now.
often we're going to see that part of Amik's skill set being a depth piece. Sorry.
Well, with the Raiders working out 2 corners this week, we can all come to the assumption that they're not done adding to this defensive back room. So I don't think Amik is going to have as predominant of a role as we think. I think he's going to be an emergency break glass kind of player. Same with Sam Webb. I like Sam Webb a lot, actually. I would, if it came down to it, I would have probably kept Darius Phillips over Amik, and I would have kept Sam Webb as that guy that was on the back end.
I agree.
So I don't know. I don't think that.
I think Webb's there probably for special teams, you know. That's the thing. They probably both are.
But I mean, he flashed when it came to coverage. I mean, when it came to what Patrick Graham is looking for, the man-to-man, he got beat on a few, nothing crazy, nothing like no double moves for a touchdown. He let up like receptions, but he also made a lot of plays on the ball with quite a few PBUs this preseason. So he's long, he has those abilities to get in there and knock the ball away. So I kind of like aspects of Sam Webb's game. I'm kind of like with Avakazi is like, I want Amik Robertson to succeed. Like, I really want to see that dude take off and flourish as a Raider. I just have not seen it. Like when it comes down to film, I just haven't seen it.
I do too, man. I'm critical of the guy, but I want to see everything you see, Gravy.
Yeah.
And on that, I got to get to bed, guys. Thanks for having me on Dirty Low. Gravy,
See you later,
good to see you, my brother. Raider Ray, appreciate you stopping by my own live before. Farrah, salute to you. And Gabe, my brother, thanks again for you joining my own live.
Yeah, God bless
so
you.
next time, you know what it is. We'll catch up.
All right, bro.
How's it going, brother?
Sure.
Take care.
Good night and good day.
You too, man.
Hey, and then another thing too that Mike G in the chat he pointed out, like pass rush will be key to our DBs.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, this defense is built off the strength of our D line. And what I like about Patrick Graham is that he's not going to be like all out blitzing, like because I know we mentioned like, oh, this Patrick Graham is going to blitz. What Patrick Graham is going to do, he's going to blitz to create one-on-ones for who? Max Crosby and Chandler Jones. And you see that's a great advantage for us. So that's something that we can look forward to. And that's the one key things that we're focusing a lot on that secondary. But you know what? They're not going to have a lot of pressure as much as we think. It's that D-line that's going to have to carry this defense.
Yeah, the front seven's going to carry the momentum of this defense. I mean, and especially with us predominantly playing man coverage. I'm looking for Patrick Graham to be a lot more aggressive. Get Jonathan Abram involved in blitzes a lot more at the line of scrimmage. Get these linebackers moving downhill a little bit and getting after the quarterback. The more that you can create pressure on the quarterback and force him to get rid of the football, the more opportunities you're going to see, like in the preseason where guys were getting tipped balls. There was one play about this defense in the preseason that was absolutely beautiful, and it sums up everything what Patrick Graham's trying to create. And he sends Jonathan Abram on a blitz. It forces the quarterback to get rid of the ball early. Jayon Brown gets his hand on the football, creates a tip, and then we finish the drive with an interception. You know what I mean? It was each level of this defense working together cohesively to get a turnover, and that's what I'm looking for this defensive unit moving forward is creating the pass rush, getting your hand on the ball, and creating those opportunities for yourself to get turnovers.
And we can't forget about Eckler back there either. You know, we can't. We got to watch that dude. So that dude could buzz.
That's what I was going to say about, the Meek, and you guys made a comparison with Graham, Meek, and Abrams that I kind of want to jump on, about that. Amik is basically a smaller version and they're going to play the same role as Abrams. If you really, really look at it, because that's exactly what I was saying about Abrams. He can cover the flats. He can come in. He's a smaller, quicker back to run the, run blitzes and stuff like that. And these packages that they're going to be running, they're going to work. So them placing him in that position is going to work for him, and he's going to flourish. Like, not going to get crazy amount of burn, but he's going to play the same position, and that's where Graham's defense is going to work for all these other players because they play them at the positions that they need to be played at.
So could you guys see Amik then playing that more box role then and just using his assets of his ability to tackle and maybe be asked to cover less and get out there and just make more aggressive stops?
Yes. Yes. That's it.
He can do it, dude. He can do it.
I mean, honestly, I'm not big on his coverage skills. I don't want him lined up on a Cooper Kupp on the inside on a slot. I don't want none of that, dude. So his
coverage skills are better than Abrams, bro.
Well, yeah,
way better than Abrams.
But there's a reason why Abrams going to be getting kicked down in the box and not asked to cover as much. You know what I
But
mean?
isn't this a great conversation to have? The fact that we're talking about the fourth, fifth corner because we're so comfortable with the first three corners. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
That's a great
sir.
conversation to have, man.
But the question is, Pharaoh, is why you meet? I go.
Why I
you know,
meet
he-
over Mullen?
You know, he made the roster. He made the roster, so he's doing something good. You know, in one way or another. All I want is to see from Abrams, bro. Is I want Abrams to play safety.
I think he has naked.
I want him back there playing safety where he belongs, and that means he needs to work hard on his cover skills. And then our defense, and then we can use the guys in the middle that we are talking about. You know, without having Abrams. Abrams is a missile, dude. Coming from a safety, and those receivers get the ball. If he just has a, you know, he's more disciplined, he's more in control of his tackling now that I've seen, and he's getting that part of it. But now we got to see if he's working on his coverage.
Contract year.
Yeah,
Hey,
if he's back there playing safety like he's supposed to, then you got your all-around safeties for a couple of years, man. With Moreg and him.
He's gonna be playing the Jabril Peppers role.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on real quick, guys. I got one of my good friends. All of us know this guy. He's in the chat. He makes us laugh. He's one of the homies. I haven't seen this guy in a minute, besides earlier. But he's my number one draft pick, bro.
Yeah.
MG.
Number one.
Hold on, brother.
Hey, I thought
fuck a silent count.
I thought it was silent count, bro.
Nah.
Just on you, but
We only run bootlegs. We only run naked bootlegs. We only run naked bootlegs.
naked bootlegs, and you really naked. Huh?
That should be our first play of the year, a naked bootleg.
Like a minute in, man, already got me busting up.
Oh my God! All right, man. Let's Sean's question real quick, brother. Question to the panel is: we're sold on the interior defensive tackles, Jonathan Hankins. I can't trust him to be healthy all year, so I believe that we still need to bring in at least one more big guy that can plug and push, plug and play. Probably.
Too late. It's too late, bro.
Think so?
Ooh, I don't know about
You think it's too late for a D lineman? A D lineman?
I don't know.
Defensive tackle, no. I don't think so. But
I don't think it's too late.
Not these tackles.
You don't need to learn much on that line, boy.
Yeah, especially if it's like a nose or like like somebody like that you're gonna use for like the backup to Hankins, where you only need a couple gap fucking. That's it. I think you could bring in a DT. Now you're gonna bring in a corner or something like that. They have to learn a little bit more of the scheme and all that stuff. But I think DT could work.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Cashflow. Good morning, guys.
Cashflow, Fresno boy.
Auntie, man, come in with the question, brother. I have this up and I want to bring it up, but we're just kind of talking about the DBs. But we'll get to that question, brother, very, very soon. But yeah, man. As far as what Sean was saying, that number one guy, man. I like Trent Richardson. What's it, Richardson?
No, Sheldon
Richardson. I like him a lot. I don't understand why he's not here.
I mean, I like a guy that's currently on the roster. Andrew Billings had a phenomenal game against the Vikings, and we didn't see him dress out for that last preseason game because, I mean, he showed a lot, especially with the kind of defensive front, even 4-2-5 scheme, 3-4 scheme. That nose tackle, having a true nose tackle in this defense is crucial, a lot more than what previous years when we were running predominantly a 4-3 or that cover 3 system last year with Gus Bradley. This scheme specifically thrives on having a guy who can fight off double teams on the interior when it comes to run defense. Mm-hmm. And Andrew Billings brings that. Now, Jonathan Hankins had flash when he played. Now, can he stay healthy consistently over 17 games? Right. Probably not, right? If we're just looking at recent history. But when you have two nose tackles like what you have right now, especially when it comes to red zone, I think you're actually okay. Do you want more of a presence when it comes to interior pass rush? 100%. You know, if you want to go get a guy who can come in there and create some havoc on the inside, I think that's the direction. But as long as Andrew Billings can stay healthy and Jonathan Hankins can stay relatively healthy, and then you're also going to work in Neil Farrell, who I don't think is necessarily ready right now, but slowly working him into those lineup. when it comes to nose tackle, I think we're okay. I just want to go out there and maybe get somebody who can offer you a little bit of interior presence.
Bilal, I think Bilal can produce that just because he did produce 6 sacks last year.
Yeah,
I like Bilal Nichols, but also him too. Can he stay healthy? And I like that the inside when it's Bilal Nichols, Hankins, or you can match Bilal Nichols with Billings. I like that that little rotation right there. That those three, it doesn't hurt to get another guy. But I think I like that. I don't think we need to get a top tier guy. I mean, I would love to get in Tonic and Sue, but if you could bring in like a Sheldon Richardson or a Linval Joseph, would be good. But
what about our young dudes, bro? You guys didn't see anything?
Farrell, Matthew Butler.
You guys didn't see anything? They shined a little. They shined a little bit when they were in there.
I brought up Neil Farrell. I brought him up as like integrating him in slowly. I don't think that they're quite ready yet for a ton of snaps, especially week 1. I think you go in there with Jonathan Hankins, Bilal Nichols. This coaching staff likes those veteran units, right? They like the guys that have played a lot of football, who can understand the system. And for guys like Matthew Butler, Neil Farrell, I just think they need a little bit more time. Now, that doesn't mean that it's not going to be this season. I think later on in the year, they're going to get more burn as it goes. But as where they stand right now, just let them develop and let those veterans get after it a little bit.
We gotta stop the run week 1, man. Gotta stop that run.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be crucial.
That's why.
That's why I see
6 defensive tackle. I think Vickers.
That's why I see Farrell in there as a outside backer type. What he's been playing, standing up, not with his hand on the ground, not bulldozing on a tackle, but standing up and playing like an outside contained. I guarantee you this: when Masterson got that pick, and then if you focus on that one play, if you guys remember it, Farrell was on the ground, then he stood up and went deeper, and then he went into coverage. That messed up that Matt Jones big time. He didn't know what the hell Farrell, and he was going to that side. And that's why we ended up getting the pick. Farrell can just, as far as we all know, that Farrell can stop the run. He's very good at stopping the run.
Yeah, I can stop the run.
So if he can play that side issue, that issue, then I can see Farrell having Eckler, because Eckler.
It sounds like he's saying Farrell.
Farrell.
He is.
Farrell. Eckler likes to run on the outside because he got that outside speed. So
I think Farrell can play defensive end, not defensive tackle.
Yeah, that's what the defensive end, outside.
Long arms.
Talking about this one right here on the screen.
Hey, what about the draft pick, bro? If anybody goes back, I forgot who's was it Dirty's channel? Farrell came out of nowhere.
Oh, the one-handed pick.
He came
that
out
was
of nowhere.
nasty.
Man, I was like, that's my team right there, bro.
I got to make a new play, man. It's getting played out, man. I got to make a new play. So we got to get a football game soon.
That was one of 7 interceptions, right, for Dirty that day.
The one off the head.
7. I thought it was only 3.
Oh no, man! Come on.
Nah. Dirty was on my team. He was on my team. So.
Nah, but I like Farrell. I mean, I want to see what Matthew Butler can do. Matthew Butler can do too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Khalif Farrell, honestly, Cleveland's getting paid $10 million to set a good edge. That's it. I mean, that's this year for him. If he can be predominant and make a presence when it comes to run defense, you're paying that man $10 million to set an edge.
I think I seen him put him like as a D tackle too as well. Like I seen him, but then him being productive, I didn't see it there. But he was injured for a while during training camp, so maybe he needs to get up to speed. But we'll see. I mean, I think what we need to see from Clelin Ferrell is him be productive with Chandler Jones and Max Crosby on the other side. If he can do that, that's cool. We're not asking him to be a superstar. You know what I mean? We're asking him just to be a good role player, like contribute in some way.
You want to bring him back into that?
I think Clelin Ferrell's last year is this year. However, could you guys see a situation where, say, he thrives under Patrick and he comes out and with his hand not in the dirt and really being a good run defender? Do you see an opportunity where we re-sign him, but it's on a far cheaper deal, maybe like $3.5–4 million deal?
Yeah, If he's not pass rushing, if he's not getting down pass rushing, then he doesn't.
Because let's be honest, nobody's going to go out there and pay top dollar for Klee. So he's got majority of his money, in my opinion. Being that 4th overall pick, he's made the majority of his money up front. This next contract for him is a weird situation, right? Because typically we see guys go on to sign huge contracts.
Yeah.
It's not going to be that case for him.
If he balls out this year, it would be beneficial to him to sign like another 1 to 2 year deal, just so because if he knows already that he can ball under this system,
he has to ball out.
He has to ball out and then sign like another 1 year deal. Then he can make himself some money because you get 2 years under your belt of consistency. Then you can start going out there, and testing the waters with free agency.
Right. So, like with the free agents that Sean just put, that we just put up right there, Farrell going in the dirt. You know what I mean? The only reason I can see him actually even thriving in that is running a 4-3, or even a nickel, which is where I got at least like four linemen on there. That's where he's going to strive. Now, if they're going to bring him back and have him be a backup to those Chandler Jones and also Crosby, I can see that he can do both.
But even in the nickel, though, you got to think like, okay, start naming off the guys that are still ahead of Klee right now, because I think all of them are better. Obviously, we got the 2 elite, Crosby and Chandler Jones. But when you look at Bowers and you look at Malcolm Kuntz, those guys, Kuntz is a dog, bro. Like,
I like Bowers too, man. Bowers stepped up in training.
Yeah, he did.
In preseason.
He has more sacks in the preseason than Klee does almost in his entire career. Straight up.
Can we just say this? Then that Klee's pretty much him saying, "I'm gonna explode. I'm gonna be this. I'm gonna be that." Is basically just hyping him up so he can just get his money, pretty much. Because if we got all this depth and we got all the players that can actually play the position that we're trying to convert him to, there's no point. You see what I'm saying? Like he's just gonna be a depth piece.
That's all he is. That's it. I mean, he's good depth to have. You know,
it's good depth to have as far as stopping the run. They messed with him so much, dude. They messed with his.
But I think, to be honest, with the amount of fucking draft picks that we're piling up, though, I don't think he's gonna make the team. I mean, I don't think he's gonna make. We're gonna re-sign him. Because I think they're gonna try to go the younger route. Build through the draft. They already have solid pieces here. Foundation pieces here. Now they just gotta.
They're just gonna use the shit out of him this year.
They're gonna use him. They got to. They're paying him $10 million. It's just he's just one of those guys that I just feel like is
like 7th round draft picks. Like all the fucking.
He's playing for his future, not with us, but he's playing for his future.
Yeah, he's one of those players that needs a fresh start. You know what I mean? It was like the Alex Leatherwood. They kind of played with him a little bit. The Alex Leatherwood situation is a little bit different, but
way different.
Way different. But Klee Farrell,
if he was playing like Leatherwood was, dude, I would have shipped his ass out.
No, yeah, Klee just where I do see it the same is Klee. I feel like is going to benefit from a change of scenery after this season. That's where I'll go with this.
Go somewhere to the south, go to the Panthers. Try to go back down to where Clemson was at. Try to go over there.
It's not his fault where he got drafted, guys. On the real,
right.
I think early on, he's gonna have to fight for snaps. I think he's gonna have to prove it in practice, and then maybe possibly best case scenario, he's a contributor as a role player later in the season. Because NFL season, long season, 17 games. And players are going to get hurt, so the coaching staff is going to try to be, they're going to find creative ways to put players in positions to succeed, like we talked about earlier. And you guys mentioned, he's good against the run, but we'll see what happens. But it's possible he can come back. He can possibly come back as a role player, but it'll be on a cheap deal because the cap is right now is really precious for us, especially the next few years where all these contracts are going to start to hit.
That's why they should expand that roster with 17 games. They should at least add 2 or 3 more players to that roster. You know what I mean?
Reals, bro.
Facts.
I think what's going to benefit the Raider when it comes to cap space is all these new TV deals because it's raising the salary cap for all the teams. So thankfully that deal is actually in place because the Raiders they're talking about extending Denzel Perryman. You still got Waller to extend. You went out and spent all this guaranteed money this offseason. Look, we're just obviously they're in a win now type of mode. I'm just hoping that these contracts tend to play out. Thankfully, they invested good money into pretty good players.
And all those contracts they hit next year.
Yeah, exactly. And it's for me, of all the extensions, I would hesitate on the Denzel Perryman one. I understand he had a big year last year. He came in late in the season under that Gus Bradley product. That Gus Bradley cover 3 system that he knew and understood. So he was
hold off on that.
Yeah,
I was thinking about it too. Because I was like saying like he might deserve it, but he needs to perform under this defense.
Right. Because they're going to ask him to do a lot more, and if he can't go out there and cover, you're talking about a linebacker room with Jayon Brown, Divine Diablo, these Luke Mastersons, and the Butlers of the world that have somewhat ability to cover. Look, those guys, those young kids, they're going to take over eventually. Obviously, not this season, but Denzel Perryman is one of those positions for me, kind of like the running back situation, where it's a little bit expendable, right? Like you can plug somebody in, and you don't have to spend all that money.
Yeah. The one thing that he does have going for him though is that Patrick Graham loves his run stuffers, man, right there in the middle. You know, like Blake Martinez. You know, those type of guys. He likes those guys in the middle who can make tackles. So he has that going for him, but he needs to learn how to cover, man. Because, bro, that's the one thing
he's short too.
Yeah.
Blake Martinez would be a cool player to look at. I think
I would want that.
I would like that guy. Yeah, like if you're bringing in a Reggie Ragland, you're bringing in an Ogletree, you're kicking rocks on all these guys that are like, let's be honest, like a little bit past their prime. Look, I believe Blake Martinez. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think he's like 28. I know he's coming off
like
of a
29. Yeah.
28, 29.
The Giants don't want him no more. Or what?
He got released as a cap.
What?
Yeah, he got released. And so for me, I feel like that's perfect, you know? I mean, you're going to obviously either kick Darian Butler, in my opinion. You'd probably kick him to the practice squad if you go out in there and get Blake.
Yeah,
just because I think Luke Masterson just showed a little bit more in preseason for me on film. I just thought he had the green dot. He's getting guys lined up. You know what I mean? He's a good tackler, a little bit better than what Darian was. So I would probably put Darian on the practice squad, but I would honestly look into Blake Martinez. I think he'd be a good fit.
I think so too.
Yeah, Masterson is I think Masterson's a little bit. He's a younger, healthier version of Perryman. He needs about a year.
He was a safety at Wake Forest, right?
Yeah.
He bumped up. He bumped up.
Yeah, I think he's
the new Ward Daddy or what?
I think he's a better cover linebacker.
Well, he overperformed for sure. You know what I mean? Yeah. A lot of people weren't really expect anything of him, and he really overperformed. So I'm excited for Luke. He feels like one of those, and I know Raider Nation hates to hear it, but let's just face it. Facts are facts, y'all. Like the Patriots have a way of doing things, and you're gonna see similar things happen over here with the Raiders organization because it's worked over there. They do
They're
this.
already showing that. They're already showing that.
Yeah, they're good at finding these. They'll turn over every rock to find talent. So these UDFA guys, these late round draft picks,
use them. They're
going to use them, and these guys are actually going to play a lot of football until their contracts are due, and then you're going to rinse and repeat, right? So
that's how I've seen New England always stay healthy and all that shit because they use their total 53 guys. Like they're the type of team that they like to, they like to use every single guy on their roster to where like that preserves guys for the fourth quarter and shit like that. Having like a Deron Harmon always being able to, calling them the closer and shit like that. Like that's why I think these guys were able to perform so late in quarters and shit like that. They use everybody.
Well, I was telling all the sexy additions, Devontae and Chandler and all these big moves. It's so fun. And as a fan base, you're like fired up about it. I think Raider Nation needs to be more fired up about Champ Kelly, Dave Ziegler, Josh McDaniels, because these guys are going to go out there and get players that you and I may necessarily not know a ton about, but put them in the best situation possible. And you're going to see 53 men working together as a unit finally in the silver and black to go out there and win football games.
Right.
That's why I don't see them spending a lot of money.
No, they don't. That's why I'm not worried about the cap space situation because let's be honest. You went out and spent a bunch of guaranteed money. These next 3 drafts, a lot of these are 3-year deals. So all these guys, once they're aging, these next 3 drafts are going to be pivotal for the Raiders organization because you're going to go out there, nail these next 3 drafts, get these young players involved in the system and get them a ton of work. And then once these contracts expire, you're replacing them with young players who have been in the scheme and system for, plus 2 years. And then that's when that whole cycle of replacing talent with young players starts to happen.
Mm-hmm. That's how you build consistent winners. But did you all hit on that Denzel Perryman? They're actually, I don't know if y'all seen the rumors about him. They're like in contract talks.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Yeah, y'all talked about that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Reggie. Yeah, man. But hey, man, It's a lot to look forward to, man. It's a lot to look forward to.
The dude is the tackling machine, dude. Tackling machine is what you mean. And the way they
Raider show. Wow, you're wild, son.
The way offenses are nowadays is that you gotta have a linebacker that covers.
Yeah.
The way they're flowing into everybody's going on routes now. That's besides the interior. So you need to have
use a big long safety nowadays to cover them tight ends.
You know, you can get that safety that's a biscuit away from being a linebacker that's real fast. You put them in there. You put them in there and play outside. You know,
biscuit and gravy, dog.
Biscuit. He's a biscuit away from being a linebacker. You know, those are those big safeties.
They don't build them like Ray Lewis no more. You kind of don't. Those are extinct.
That's Perryman. You know, Perryman's your Masterson. He can flow side to side, but he's that banger. The breeding those guys as bangers, and then they can run too.
Right.
Jayon Brown though. Jayon Brown could cover.
Jayon Brown could cover.
Be the guy
that's what he's known for.
I think in the right situation, those guys still have a role though in the NFL. When you're talking about those bigger linebackers, like look at on a guy like who was played for New England, Dante Hightower. I mean, he's going on his 11th year as a linebacker, and he's not a coverage type of guy. So I welcome those guys because it sets a tone and it sets a presence for your defense. And,
we need a Buda Baker like from Arizona, man. That motherfucker.
Yeah,
I want to see Isaiah Simmons for the Cardinals get a fresh start. I wouldn't mind getting a young twitchy guy like Isaiah
I like
Simmons.
him coming out.
I like him a lot. I would love to see him in the silver and black, just to move him.
But a creative coach, creative defensive coordinator.
Patrick Graham, Patrick Graham would be, whatever. I'm not in the front office. I can't make no moves. So.
What about Harris Jr. right now? Harris Jr. is a free agent right now. You know that, right? Chris Harris Jr. from Broncos.
I don't think
he was with the Chargers from UCLA.
Yeah, he's ready to go, bro. I think that's a good thing. Nobody's really talking about that shit. I don't understand why we don't pick him up.
He's just a little old for me. That's
all. Okay, Nandi Asamoah then, if you want to go
along with
it.
Hey, so look. Let me ask this question, man. Like, since the season's around the corner, so I just wanted to ask, like, what are y'all looking forward to week one? Like, what are y'all most looking for week one? Raiders versus Chargers. It's gonna be next Sunday. Next Sunday is when the season starts, right?
Man,
I would love for us to get a dominating game, just a statement out there, and just.
You know, I'll be there. I'll let you know. I'll let you know how it goes.
Oh, you're going?
Yeah.
Oh, you about to be there? Oh shit, that's gonna be dope, man.
I'll see you there, bro.
Dope, man.
No, we're gonna be there. I was gonna go with my boy, but I'm actually staying tonight.
Because of the parking, I'm taking my rollerblades.
There it is.
Yeah, good idea.
I want to see how we the offense just like how it opens up. You know what I mean? How it just like how different it is, how they could just, hit different ways, the running game, the screen game,
Because we haven't seen it, right?
I want to see how it all comes together, bro. Just that's the main thing. I mean, the defense too, though, bro. I want to see just how good this defensive line could be, bro. Like, those two guys having them on the edge. It's two of the best, pass rushers I see today, man. Like, I know they say, about Chandler Jones, most of his production was in 2 games of last year, but then you got Coons backing him up, bro, which I don't think is a big drop off. You know what I mean? So I think that just seeing the defensive line, how they perform, the defensive ends pretty much, and then how that offense, how balanced, the balanced offense, that red zone, how they perform in the red zone, of course, that's important.
I'm just looking for, man. I just have this gut feeling that the Raiders are about to just put a show on, just because I feel like they have this element of surprise. They're going to be consistently able to adapt and switch things up and to kind of keep the Chargers on edge a little bit, asking a lot of questions. I like Josh McDaniels' ability to, if something's not working in the first half, you finally now have a coaching staff that's going to make those halftime adjustments, that they're going to come out and look like a complete different unit the second half. So I'm looking at the coaching staff. I'm looking at how creative. A lot of people forget that Patrick Graham, man, he utilizes such good coverages in his defense, and and how he's able to confuse quarterbacks. Like, he was really known for his play against Patrick Mahomes. So against Justin Herbert, putting a bunch of disguised defense up front, getting him thinking a little bit, letting those pass rushers pin their ears back a little bit. There's so much to look forward to in this game, right? We could always just look at the low-hanging fruit. We could always look at the offensive line and be like, oh, I'm worried about that. There's so much good going for this Raiders football team that I'm excited to watch, right? So, man, I think it's just going to be a great night for Raider Nation. I think everything that we've been waiting for, the entire buildup, the change of energy out there in the desert, everything is about to be on display on Sunday. And the best part about it, you guys, is all of it's been under wraps. You haven't seen DC in the preseason. You haven't seen Davante in the preseason. Everybody in the NFL has no idea what's going on. And unfortunately for the Chargers, they got to be the first ones to line up against us.
Yeah. They
man.
over here saying 47-10, bro.
Wow. That's an ass whooping right there. That's I haven't seen one of those in a while. But hey, you know what, man? I'm gonna just touch on the elephant in the room, man. I'm trying to see Derek Carr, man. Like, I want to see him with Josh McDaniels calling plays. I want to see how that looks like. I want to see like him dominate, because these are all everything that we've kind of like said, you know what? DC hasn't had this. DC hasn't had that.
No more excuses.
He's going to have this season.
Right.
So it's like, I want to see what it looks like. I don't know what it's going to look like. Is it going to be 4 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns? Because, you know, we've seen DC manage the game. We've seen DC limit the turnovers when it comes to interceptions. You know, obviously he has that fumble issue. Hopefully he take care of that this year.
Yeah.
But I want to see him this year, this game, like play big in a big game. It's a big game.
Raider Joe were talking about that, right? You know, they were talking about that he was going to make the shirt right here. He said, I was going to make the shirt. There's no excuses. With DC on the back coming soon, right? Him and Joe were talking about it.
Oh, yeah, Cash Card hates DC, dog.
I think this is the year that DC can kind of pin his own ears back a little bit.
He can go with the Falcons. He loves Mariota.
The DC is going to be that weapon, man. That look, a lot of defenses are. I came up with this take. I know a lot of people aren't really talking about it, but everybody's always quick to say like, "Oh, who are you going to double? You're going to double Davante and double Waller and all these misconceptions, right?" There's only one football being distributed on a football team with all these weapons. So if you can't guard Davante, Waller, and Hunter, who are you going to go after? You're going to go after DC. So I'm looking for defenses this year to have a lot of disguise coverages, test his IQ, put a ton of guys up at the line of scrimmage, have guys peel off, show a man formation, but really you're running zone, and just test the IQ of Derek Carr. Because if you can get to Derek Carr and you can disrupt the one that's distributing that football to the playmakers, that's where defenses are going to have success against the Raiders. Because let's face it, we've all talked about it for months now. These guys aren't going to be able to line up against us. So to me, Derek Carr has more pressure on him, and I'm a huge Derek Carr fan. I think he's the guy for the job. I love DC. But moving forward, I think he actually has a more silenced pressure on him, because now he has everything. So now there's going to be such an attention. If he starts turning the football over, if he's going to have difficulties reading how these guys are shading defenses and hiding stuff, a lot more pressure is going to be coming towards DC this season. Like,
for sure.
Or it could flourish. You know what I mean? He could go off and throw for 35 touchdowns and close to 5,000 yards.
But I think the run game is going to be key for just this week, or especially in the AFC West with these pass rushers. I think the run game, the screen game, that's what you're going to see a lot more of, I believe.
I agree.
In the passing game. I mean, to get in the groove,
pressure,
you know what I mean?
Pressure burst pipes, or it creates diamonds, dog. One of the two.
Yeah.
Right.
So eventually they're gonna have to pick. Either they're gonna stop the run game, and then, hey, baby, here we go. So,
and what better quarterback to have pick apart defenses than DC? If you can establish that run game and you can limit DC's throws to that 28 to 30 passes in the football game, you get down in the red zone with all these weapons now, and one of the best red zone play callers that we've seen in recent history. Like, DC is in an offense where he can pick defenses apart. I'm fired up about it.
I'm sure, bro. I'm sure.
Go for it, bro.
I'm sorry. I'm sure that DC wouldn't mind handing off that ball to those 3 running backs, and I have my specific order of running backs. But if we set the line of scrimmage right off the bat, then Derek Carr is not going to have a problem with pass rush. If you just set that early, 5-6 yards a pop, like we were doing in preseason with any one of those backs, anyone, the tone of the game we'll be able to dictate, and then Carr could flourish and start, getting these little medium passes, and the next thing you know, 5-6 of them break loose. But to me, 47-10, I'll take a 27-10. I'll take a 20. The running game with the three we have is really impressive.
Control the game, and all that.
You're controlling the clock. You're controlling the field position. I wouldn't mind a game like that because it's going to be a physical game because they're division rivals. And then I would like to set that tone where we dominate that ass and say, hey, we're going to come over here. We're going to kill your ass on the line of scrimmage. We set that. Game's over. First quarter, game's over. Time's going. The time's moving. We're going to dictate. We're going to make this guy think crazy shit because when he starts thinking crazy shit, they end up losing the game. How many times have you seen, what are they now? LA Chargers be preseason favorites to win the AFC West or going to the Super Bowl? The years, they're just like Cleveland. Oh, they're going to the Super Bowl because they got this and that. That's the way. On paper, it's a good team. But you don't win the league on paper, bro. You win the league in the trenches. And that's the way I was taught football. I'm sure many of you look at different views as far as throwing. I don't want Derek Carr throwing the ball 40 times. If he's throwing 40 times, you're desperate to me. So
what were you gonna say, Pharaoh?
You gotta run the football. You have to run the football.
I was saying top a lot of people didn't see my perspective when you guys are talking about running the ball. That's time. Yeah, the time of possession for me has been key because if you look at the way McDaniels used to run his offense, it's time of possession driven. So they'll do those 7 yards, they'll do this, but then yet at the same time, when they know that we're on top, they attack. So that's where those extra points are going to come in. He doesn't stop. You know what I mean? So it's like, and then with bouncing off what you said about Derek Carr's IQ, bro, think about it. He's ran every playbook in the NFL. He's had 6 different coaches, so many different schemes. He knows everything. His IQ is there. Now, if he can take that maybe one step slower like Tom does, like Brady does, and I hate mentioning it, but if he can do that, bro, he's going to pick apart everybody. And this backfield is going to be crazy. It's time of possession driven. I don't think we're going to score a lot of points, personally. I know we're going to score, but I think it's going to be time of possession for us because that's going to keep us on the field longer. It's going to keep our defense fresh, and we're going to be pushing people back, bro. That's the way I see it.
Go ahead, Pharaoh.
Bro, oh, he's frozen.
Go ahead, Pharaoh.
You hit the time of possession 9 times out of 10. If you look at that in box score, if you're
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
If you're winning that time of possession, usually you win the game. Yeah. And also turnovers. It isn't how many times you threw the ball, how many times you did this. Yeah, it's time of possession and turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
So defensively, we got to get the ball and stop them from running time of possession. 3 and outs. That's less time to have the ball. And we have it longer. Then you guys know that.
Oh yeah.
Pharaoh, go ahead.
Yeah, and I was going to touch. I don't know if y'all can hear me. My connection's kind of.
You good?
Yeah, my connection's kind of tripping. But I was going back to like what you were saying, Ray. You was talking about how like there's a lot of pressure on DC, but at the end of the day, like while I believe in DC playing one, I'm not saying that you're saying DC is going to fail this year. I think if he's going to have this much pressure, I'll feel comfortable with DC having guys that he trusts around him, and with Devontae Adams, a guy that he dominated in college with, like his best friend, perfect. Because we know how emotional DC is. We know how he is when it comes to trusting a player. What better guy to trust than his best friend? Then you have his one of his other best friends. You know what I mean? Renfro, a guy that third in Renfro, a guy that he trusts, a guy like Waller who he's built up chemistry with. So like if DC is gonna have a year where he has a lot of pressure on him with talented players, it's not like we picked up random players like an Antonio Brown or random, and they're most likely DC's not gonna be hanging out with Antonio Brown after the game. You know what I mean? Like, it's not one of those type of situations. We know that, like, DC, when it comes to the players around him, he's comfortable with. So this is why, like, that's why I had to bring it up, because I know that guys are talking about the defense and, you know, the coaching staff, and I'm looking forward to that as well. But I feel like, man, DC, man, if he doesn't dominate this year, man, I'm gonna be shocked, man.
And that's why I said it's like a silence. Like what you made all those good points is like, oh, it's a best friend. You got Hunter Renfrow. He has everything around him. He has the tight end that he wants. So it's like, in years past, you've been able to go down. Hey, he's got a 35-year-old Deshaun Jackson. Darren Waller's hurt. Hunter Renfrow is his only option. You go down the list of years of the weapons that have been on the outside. Since exactly Jordan, the James Joneses and
past their prime.
Exactly. You can go all the way down the line. Now that DC finally has everything that he honestly needs, while there is an ultimate confidence in that because he has the best wide receiver in all football, one of the best slot receivers, one of the best tight ends, there's a different type of pressure, right? It's not the pressure that the media is talking about. I think it's more of like an inward pressure where if things start going wrong offensively, the first thing that people are going to look at are they're going to be looking at DC because he's going to be the one distributing the ball to all those playmakers. That's the only reason why I say there's a silent pressure for DC is because I feel like although he has all the weapons and everything, and even though the media is not talking about it, it's going to be solely up to him to make this. He's going to be the thing that runs this ship, right? So everything is going to run through DC now.
Yeah, and I think it helps. It helps also though too that, you know, because we've all probably been, you know, guilty of it too. We trust in the wrong people. You know what I mean? And it helps that the guy that he has the most trust in, the guy that is his best friend, like Fer was saying, is the #1 receiver in the league. You know what I mean? So having that trust in that guy, all you got to do is throw it up because he has that trust in that guy. So that's just going to make him even a better quarterback just because he has that trust in that guy. So
DC's going to be letting it rip this year, boy. Yeah. I'm excited.
I don't think McDaniel's going to let him fail, boys. I
don't think Devontae Adams is going to let him fail. He's going to be telling him, bro, hey, throw me the rock.
Right. Yeah, I like what he said. He turned around and said, like, man, I'm not over here to be playing like, oh, my best friend. No, I'm over here for I got something I got to do. There's something, you know what I mean, that he wants to accomplish, bro. And that's solid, bro. And to do it with your boy, you know what I mean, and a solid team, bro.
Yeah, it's just a benefit at this point. You got all this chemistry. I mean, everybody is always talking about, oh, Devontae is not playing with Aaron no more. It's like nobody has thrown more touchdowns to Devontae Adams than Derek Carr.
Right.
I mean, DC they have put up stupid numbers together, right? And they work out every single offseason. You don't just have to count in-game snaps. Every single offseason, these dudes are out here putting in work. So
they have that timing down. They already have that
timing. For sure, bro. It's not you're not gonna be watching these guys and it's gonna be like, oh well, wait till week 8 when they've really come along. Like, bro, these dudes are gonna get hit week 1 sprinting out the gates. Like they're already gonna have that developed chemistry.
Yeah, but Carr's made players good, bro. Carr's made every player that he's played with good. You know what I mean?
Receiver, he's got so many receivers fucking paid.
Yeah.
Paid.
Yeah. The Jared Cooks, you know what I mean, the Aguilars, the Zay Jones, like Zay Jones,
Seth Roberts.
That was a huge contract that he got, man.
You know,
but and hey, you know, I want to mention another guy I think no one's really talking about, and he's going under the radar, which is crazy to say when he's the starting running back of the Las Vegas Raiders, and he's been one of the best, you know, one of the better backs the last few years. Even though like there's things that we could point to with Josh Jacobs, but I think he's a guy that I think he's motivated, and I think he's gonna have a big year too, man.
You think we'll pick him up next year?
Well, he has to. If he wants to get paid, he has to ball out.
Yeah, he said he wants to be a Raider. That's what he said. And when
if he has a crazy season, let's say 1,500 plus yards, 15 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying?
They don't give second contracts to running backs, man.
I'm just saying. I'm just putting those numbers out. What, like, you know what I mean?
He's getting resigned. If he gets that, what Ferro just said, I think he's getting resigned. But
not with us.
Anything shorter than that, I don't know.
Because he's gonna get goal line opportunities.
Yeah,
he's
his
gonna get goal
line
line
to go up.
And you know the defenses are gonna key on Devontae Adams, Renfrow, and Waller. So those lanes are gonna open up a little bit better for him to run in, You know what I mean? They're not going to put a lot of people in the box like they did with all the receivers that we had in the past.
You're going to see the Josh Jacobs what we drafted for. You know, under the Gruden era, we seen nothing but loaded boxes. 8 guys lined up in the box. Why? Because John Gruden's play calling was so predictable. I mean, we were sitting on the couch, and you're able to call out what John Gruden's about to run. And it's now that you have those weapons on the outside, they can't load up those boxes anymore. And with a running back like a Josh Jacobs, I'm telling y'all, when it comes to the fourth quarter of these games this year, Josh Jacobs is going to be eating, bro. Like, these guys aren't going to want to be tackling. He's going to be getting in an open space. He's going to be a problem. So do I think he gets re-signed? I want him to. I think if he wants to be a Raider and he wants to win championships, get him on somewhat of a team-friendly deal. I just don't see them keeping a running back and giving another contract to a running back. But no, I think I agree, Pharaoh. I think he's one of those guys that are just going to explode onto the scene and just he's gonna create an opportunity to go out there and earn a lot of money for himself.
Because that's what
he's gonna start leading the league or rushing second half of the season. I'm not saying he's not going to get numbers now, but we need him for that for later on in the season, because when it starts getting cold, DC's not throwing, we're going to need that. So we're going to have these younger guys running pretty much half the season. His numbers aren't going to explode off the page. You know what I mean? He's going to get about 8 to 10 touchdowns, maybe about 900 yards, maybe crack 1,000. But that's going to be at the second. Yeah. But that's the only reason I'm saying that is because he's going to be used later, because he's been banged up. He's been our primary guy. Now we got all these other guys.
One thing I don't want to see is I don't want to see Josh Jacobs get the hot hand and he's running good, and then we just switch it up to a Zamir White. And if Josh Jacobs is finding a rhythm, and I understand you have a plethora of running backs, but dude, if Josh Jacobs starts cooking with grease like what we think, don't pull him out of the game. Like, give him those touches.
That was
That's not McDaniels though.
Man, going back to what you got, someone made a comment about Gruden and how like his play calling was suspect. Man, I'd rather it be 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 than 3rd and 1 in inches with Gruden as a play caller. It was just I don't know what happened.
Facts, bro.
It just something happens in his brain where he just like, I'm going
that
to run
guy
up the middle. I'm going to pound it. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like,
and then they're not going to see it coming. I'm going to do a play action to the fullback.
Yeah, and I'm all for establishing, you got to establish that physicality to the game, but also at the same time, like, you also got to be creative. Like, if they're going to know what you're going to do. Like, you got to change it up every now and then.
Naked bootlegs,
I will say this though, John Gruden did do a good job of moving the football down the field. It was situational football that just made me want to.
Yeah.
It was 3rd and 1s. It was red zones. But dude, when it came to creating, like taking a Zay Jones, taking a 35-year-old Deshaun Jackson, and using these pieces and still be able to move the football down the field, I know he was gone by those times, but it's the same offensive scheme. Just to get guys open. He did a good job at moving the football. It was putting points on the football board and converting on those 3rd and shorts. It drove me nuts.
No, but what he really was good at was like his formations.
Yeah.
There was that one formation that he used to have, like, what was it, 2 tight ends, a fullback, and it just seems like he used to create matchups within that formation. And the only thing is that, like, it's like his play calling just was lacking. He knew what to do. Like, he knew how to put it together, but he didn't know how to, like, consistently keep defenses off balance.
He had some cool stuff out of I formation, honestly, with like 5-step drops where, you know what I mean? It looked like those heavy run packages, but Derek Carr would drop back.
Man, but
man. Dude, under Josh McDaniels, you're just going to see such a different balance on the offense. I'm
Charlie and Zach Crockett, but
Hey, Monty had a question, man. Monty's been coming with some good ass questions, bro. Who's our kick?
DJ Turner.
DJ Turner, boy.
Let's go.
The 2 fast guys.
Is
Tyron Johnson as well to be in there.
The 2 fast guys.
Is that official? Is it officially DJ Turner or?
No, I mean that's a prediction. I mean, as a guy, I think Tyron Johnson and DJ Turner are going to be the guys in discussion because Darius Phillips is gone, and Darius was one of those guys that contributed to punt return. I see more Tyron Johnson getting that gunner role. We've seen it in Week 17.
I hate his hands, man.
And he has the ability to get his hand on the football and create turnovers. So Tyron Johnson as a gunner is something that I want to see, but DJ Turner, bro, he's just built like a running back. Like his lower body, his ability to make people miss, and Tyron Johnson is that spark that we need to get Hunter Renfrow out of there.
Yeah.
Turner has like a Jacoby Ford body, huh?
Bigger.
Kind of like that boy with the 49ers.
Debo.
Samuel, you know what I mean?
Debo a lot.
Yeah.
You miss Mullins, baby, or no?
Come on, Mike. You know.
Oh man, I'm sorry, man. I haven't asked you, dog.
You're gonna hurt my feelings.
That 9 toes he left.
Nah. I set a standard with Mullins. I am upset. You know, I'm not upset, but I seen it coming. You know, he's probably
He's
gonna
gonna
start
be injury prone, brother.
He's gonna start with IR. He has a
Come
bad
on,
injury.
Cash Lord. Come on, Cash Lord.
What is he saying, Farrell? What is he saying, man?
I think I know what he's trying to say. He's trying to say who has the best more.
Gosh, Lord, come on, bro.
Come on, bro.
Hey, he got that first down though.
I love the talent on Miami though. I love the speed that they had. They do got some talent, but
they're gonna be fun to watch, bro.
Carr is the better quarterback than Tua. Come on, man.
Carr
At
made
this
the
point, you know what I
playoffs.
mean?
Cash
Until
Lord,
I see
come on,
otherwise.
man. You made the playoffs, dog.
Jeez, with nothing, with a new head coach, Greg Olson,
man.
offensive coordinator.
Damn. Took the AFC champions to the brink, baby.
Lose his job to Fitzgerald? Fitzpatrick.
Fitzmagic, bro. That's Fitzmagic, though, bro.
Fitzpatrick looks like an all-star for like 2 games, and then
He retired, right? I think did he retire?
Yeah. Did he?
But he had some crazy stat where he played for like damn near every team in the NFL, except for the Raiders. He didn't play for us because we need a little bit of arm back there. You know what I mean?
He looks like a Raiders backup QB, if I'm being honest with you. Fitzpatrick would have been an awesome Raiders backup.
Oh, he didn't say that Tua was better. He's saying that they're both stacked.
Yeah.
Both
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true though. Shit, Waddle and fucking Tyreek. That's a good. And Gesicki, you got pretty good offensive line. That's what they got going for them. They spend money to get better on their offensive line this year. So we could see that could probably open up because you need time to get those guys open. You know what I mean? To like, break free or shit like that. Because that's what one thing Mahomes had. He would create time with his feet, with all that shit. Didn't have the line to say, but he would create with his feet, which I think Tua could do too. But Carr, I think is going to have the better year for sure.
Do you? Okay, I 100% believe Devontae Adams is the number 1 wide receiver in football. But when you're talking about a Tyreek Hill situation, do you think a guy like Tyreek opens up defenses and opens up a playbook, an offensive playbook, more than a savvy route runner like a Devontae does? Or do you feel like the Raiders have an edge at that position?
I think the league is catching up to a Tyreek Hill. That's why I think the Chiefs, they're not going to be dangerous, but they're going to be like, oh, shit, like, I think they're catching up to those type of players, in my opinion.
Tyreek can run routes too, bro. He can run routes.
It's his ability to go from 0 to now, like in his
There's no
that's
corner.
Tyreek.
There's no corner that can hang with them.
He's a motherfucking cheater,
Like
now,
that.
for sure.
Tyreek's a dog, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he is.
You see the highlights.
I just don't think it's a good fit. I don't.
Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's a good fit with Tyreek Hill. You know what I mean? I think Tyreek has a lot of speed.
And Tua doesn't have enough arm.
Like I just don't think it's a good fit with Tyreek Hill and Tua. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? I just think that's going to be the reality that Tyreek Hill hasn't really had to deal with Patrick Mahomes. So at the end of the day, Egalitarian said, "What's up, marijuana power?" That's crazy.
Yeah. He just took off. Hey,
but
hold up.
yeah, man, I just think that Tua doesn't have that arm. But we'll see how Mike McDaniels, because I actually like him. Like I like him when he was with San Francisco, especially when it came to influencing or impacting the running game. But we'll see what he does with Miami.
Hey, Trip Out. I've never had Cash Lord jump on, man, and we're giving him shit. I don't know. I never see him on. So he jumped on, bro.
He comes on Rated Tape channel.
You know what? I think he's pumping up to it because he has him in fantasy league. I think that's why he pumping up. That's why he pumping up to it.
Hey, I just think fucking I think Tua has a lot of pressure too.
I have Tua in my team.
Yeah, Cash Lord.
I think Tua got a lot of pressure.
Think so?
Who, me? Hell no. I got Jalen Hurts.
Oh, all right.
Oh, okay.
I got Jalen Hurts. Hell no, bro. I'm smarter than that.
He said I'm smarter than that.
Hey, I'm glad you jumped.
Hey, I just think that Tua. What happened?
Go ahead, bro.
My bad. Now I just think Tua got a stacked team and he got replaced already by Fitzmagic. So now Bridgewater's on his ass. So that boy got to perform.
Yeah, I had to pick up fucking Tua because Top Beats took all the damn quarterbacks.
Yeah, you got Tua, Gabe?
Yeah.
Oh.
He took 4 damn quarterbacks in like the first 4 rounds. I'm like, what the hell?
I would have still got Mariota. But yeah. I mean, you got the double points with Till. So, I mean, I can't knock you for that.
I hope Mariota kind of explodes onto the scene. Not that he's going to be some top quarterback, but I just hope that Mariota finds some success with the Falcons.
Yeah, he seemed like a good guy.
I want him to, but bro, Atlanta needs to invest into their second quarterback, bro, because he's not going to.
He got Ritter.
But he has some talent though. I like this.
I like him.
Yeah, Mariota has the best talent he's ever been around right now. Let's be real. The Titans didn't have nobody for him.
I think his time with the Raiders, I think he actually even developed as a passer, to be honest with you. Like when I was watching the preseason, him at Atlanta, bro, he was standing in the pocket and delivering good footballs. Like I think his time out of the spotlight and spending time, I know we all hate to talk about it, but under John Gruden and kind of developed his sense of being able to pass and spend some time with DC. It looks like it's translated over right now.
Yeah, guy like Kyle Pitts, he's gonna have at his disposal. Then he has a guy that they drafted in the first round, dude from USC, I think. Doesn't he play for Atlanta? He looked nice. And if Edwards is worth anything, you know what I mean? Like if he plays well, he has a guy that he's comfortable with. I don't know. I'm not sure.
It's a lot of familiar aspects of like what he was in last year. You know what I mean? He's got familiarity with Brian Edwards. He's got an athletic tight end and a Kyle Pitts. So really, if he can just transition and get this playbook down, it looks like that organization has bought into him. I mean, the guys seem to love him. So Cordell Patterson, I mean, that's a huge weapon.
That's right. Yeah,
for sure. And they know how to use him too because he played well with the Falcons in previous years. So yeah, I mean,
last year he blew up last year. Cordell Patterson was balling last year.
Yeah, like kind of like that Debo role. You know what I mean? Running back / wide receiver. That's kind of been a thing, a wave in the NFL now.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Sue is all about the money, man. He's all about the money.
Check this out. So I know the game's coming up on Sunday, bro. So what's your prediction? What you got us at?
Me?
Yeah, Cash.
Well, I got us beating them like 31 to like 14.
Ooh.
What you got, Ray?
Oh man, I see this. Honestly, it could come down to one of those games that whoever has the football last could probably pull this off. That's just how I see it. I want to see the Raiders kind of edge it out a little bit more. But if I'm gonna go with my gut, I'm gonna say maybe like a 31-28 Daniel Carlson field goal.
We got it that close. Okay. What you got, Phil?
I'm thinking 35-24. 35-24. I think that the Raiders, they show up on offense and then they make enough plays on defense and they pull away late. So 35-24.
And what you got, Gravy?
I got 28-12.
28-12? Okay.
I think our
Man.
defense steps up.
Ass whoopings. That's what I like to hear, man.
I got 31-23.
31-23.
Random number out there, 31.
Yeah, I hope I'm wrong. I hope the defense kind of shows up a little bit more. I just
They need
maybe
some time to-
I was a little bit high on my score, but I don't know.
So this is the reason why I'm saying this. All right, I'm gonna go. I put 24-10. I'm gonna run 24-10. I can run that. That sounds pretty good for me. But this is the reason why I asked that. Last year, Herbert won against the Giants, against Graham's defense. That was apparently confusing everybody. He put up 275 with 3 touchdowns, 37-21. Now, obviously, their offense wasn't very far behind. I mean, only a couple touchdowns.
What was the final score? Do you know the final score?
37-21.
That was a good game.
Yeah, that was a good game. Right? Yeah. Well, not for the Giants. That was a good game for the Giants. But as far as their defense is concerned, they put up a lot of numbers, bro. Yeah. He had a 10-yard run. He had 3 touchdowns. The longest was 59 yards. 70%, 74% completion ratio. Completion percentage. But so now the thing is with me, with the guys that we got, is our defense better than that defense?
Yeah, I do.
Even with Big Cat and everybody that was there, like, you know what I mean? So
I think in the past, I think that it has taken like a little bit of time for the defensive scheme to gel a little bit.
Right.
Especially because this is not going to be a Gus Bradley system where it's really simple and guys are just playing fast. Guys got to get used to this. Even though we're excited, they're well coached, but at the same time, like, in the preseason, it was real vanilla. It's not going to be like their best play calls. It's not going to be that complicated defense that we're going to be seeing during the season. So I think it's going to take a little time to gel. And in my mind, I feel like the offense, just based off the chemistry with Carr and the receivers, is going to have to carry the team early on, because even the offense needs to gel. Even the offensive scheme, it's a new offense, it's new defense. At the end of the day, like, they got to get, even though we're playing really good teams, I think that in order for us to win out early, I think we got to, maybe force some turnovers, get some sacks here and there. But what's going to carry is that the receivers and the chemistry with Carr. Carr has to basically be playing well for us to win.
Right.
Yeah, historically too, it takes a minute for defenses to start playing as one cohesive unit. So to say that they're going to come out there and only hold them to a single score, I think that's a little bit optimistic. There's going to be a lot of stuff, communication, gap responsibilities. There's going to be a lot of stuff to work out under Patrick Graham's scheme.
For sure, no doubt.
If you're looking at that box score, Dirty, how much can you see how much Eckler had on that game?
Yeah, I'll pull that up right now. I just want to I'm gonna let
Giants
real quick. We got Ralphie, the El Capitan. What's good, my brother? How you doing?
Yo.
Hey, go to give us. I'm gonna look up something real quick, and then go to give us your prediction on the Chargers game. Well, what do you think the score is gonna be, brother?
The prediction for the score about Chargers, I will give Chargers 10, Raiders 34.
Damn.
Jeez.
You got them chucking the ball.
Y'all drink the Kool-Aid, bro. Y'all drink the Kool-Aid.
I got the water right there.
I'm cool with my 28.
Hey, man. Hey, if I hope you guys are right. I hope you guys are right. We beat the shit out the Chargers, especially a divisional opponent. That's a huge message to send to all the other teams on that division, because we're coming. But I just feel like realistically, I want us to win. You know what I mean? Even that could be realistic, because the Chargers are talented and they are hungry. But I can see us edging the win is just the fact that like we were just talking about, like, just the scheme has.
Right.
It is a new offense, new defense. Let's be realistic. Like, it's not going to be like automatic right out the gate. But what I think is going to be automatic out the gate, Derek Carr and these receivers. I know. Derek Carr and these receivers is going to be automatic.
Eagle Darian made a good point in his latest comment. He said if J.C. Jackson's out, Raiders still have to worry about Jerry Tillery, Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, Kenneth Murray, Derwin James, Asante Samuel, Nasir Adderley. Bro, they're stacked. Like, JC's one piece. This is going to be, I mean, if the Raiders can go out there and put 34 points up on this defense, that says a lot about the Raiders offense moving forward.
That's why I have them at 24. They're going to put some number. They're not going to put more than 24. There's no way on this defense. But answering your question about Eckler, he put up he was 12 for 67, 5.6, 1 touchdown, and Long was 17. So he basically put up the same numbers that he did against us.
Look, really, if DC goes out there and throws for 2 touchdowns, Josh Jacobs or Zamir, whichever running back, runs for 1, and say Daniel Carlson kicks 3 field goals, you're talking about a 30-plus point game. Like, it's really not that. It's not that difficult. It really ain't.
Giants defense last year wasn't good against the run. They weren't good against the run. If you guys remember, that was the game plan against them, was to use Josh Jacobs. And actually, Josh Jacobs had one of his better games after having a really slow start to the season. He had like a really good game. But guess who had his worst game of the season, or one of his worst? Derek Carr.
Yeah.
So definitely. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like the difference between him and Herbert against that defense. You know what I mean? That's kind of like,
especially if the Chargers can create a balance. If Austin Eckler starts going off and they start to become a little bit unpredictable, they're not in third and long situations. This could be a game when DC and all these offensive weapons have to go out there and put a ton of points on the board to get a win.
Eckler can't have 117 yards against us, bro. There's no way.
And it's possible. That's the bad thing. It's possible.
Yeah, it's 117 yards against us, bro. We can't have that.
No, look. There's going to be a lot of responsibility on the linebackers in this unit. Like,
hey, anybody in the chat, you want to get your prediction in? Throw it in there, whatever you think the score is going to be. You know, I know there's only like 10, 12 people in here, but yeah, go into throwing your predictions in the chat, bro.
I know last season Patrick Graham kept it was like 11 linebackers or something. I remember looking into it, and I think he kept like 5 to 8 down linemen and like almost 10 linebackers. And because in his unit, that's what he had to stop the run. You know what I mean? There's a lot of responsibility on these linebackers to get aggressive in run defense. And I'm just hoping when you look at our linebackers, Divine Diablo is pretty aggressive when it comes to run defense. Obviously, he's a little bit undersized. Denzel Perryman's a good run defender, but a guy like Jayon Brown is specifically a coverage guy. Darian Butler has missed tackles. Luke Masterson, he's still a UDFA, still got some learning to do. So if you're going to put a lot of responsibility on these linebackers, you got to make sure you got guys that can defend the run, which is why I think like a Reggie Ragland, a Blake Martinez, these guys would be good additions before going into week 1 just to solidify that room a little bit.
Facts.
This trips me out, bro. I was just reading some stats right now. J.C. Jackson and Khalil Mack are the only additions to the defense. Now with Van Noy, I didn't know about Van Noy. I was just hearing them put them up there. But they were ranked 26, bro. We were ranked 30 overall. So their defense wasn't really that good.
No.
And then with the health concerns with J.C. Jackson and also Mack, they're going to be 26th again, bro. What are they going to be, 24th?
Is Mack healthy right now?
He is, but he's not going to stay healthy.
No, okay. But week 1, that's when we play him, so he's going to be healthy. So
he's going to be healthy against the Raiders for sure. He's going to be healthy.
He's going to be healthy and hungry.
Yep. And I think that with the Chargers, the reason why teams where everybody's kind of excited about the Chargers is because they address their weaknesses.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They're weak against the run. They got some run stoppers. They added a Khalil Mack. You know what I'm saying? And then they added another corner, the number 1 corner in free agency. You know what I mean? So they address their needs. Salute.
Low-key, though, when you think about the defensive back situation out of New England, name some defensive backs that leaves the Patriots and goes on to have success. That's what I'm curious to see J.C. Jackson. And now, granted, he has a front 7 that's really, really good, so that's going to benefit him. But, I mean, all in training camp, there was all those footages of all those depth guys torching J.C. Jackson. And I'm just curious to see, hey, when this dude goes out there and gets a bag, like, is he going to be the same player that we've seen in New England?
He's already hurt. He's not there.
He's already hurt.
I'm taking Devontae Adams against anybody.
Oh yeah,
back.
I wanted to see that.
That'll be great.
I wanted to see that. I wanted to see JC against Devontae. You talking all that shit?
I wanted a healthy Chargers unit. That's what I wanted. I wanted both teams to be healthy because I'm tired of hearing this guy's hurt, that guy's hurt. I want him.
J.C. Jackson played fucking Zach Wilson twice a year, and he also played the other weak ass Q.
No, yeah, no wonder he's gonna have a good season.
You lose him?
Yeah, we lost him.
Hey, shout out to my brother, Dirty Raider, man. Matter of fact, he's the one to help me out with the tickets. I'm gonna be with him over there at the game and everybody and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Prediction: Chargers can kiss my ass. Talk about this fool. Talk about my brother. Here he goes. There he is. Put on a shirt, bro. It's a family show. Saturday morning, put on a shirt.
He said put on a shirt.
Why you make me cuss with Raider Ray on screen, man? I was trying not to cuss.
Hey, you're all good.
Hey, Dirty.
God, man. Look at you, bro. You can't even say good morning. I just woke up. You can't even say good morning.
Good morning, brother.
Good morning, Dirty.
What's up, bro? How you doing, man? Pharaoh, good with you.
Good.
Salute,
Gay in the AC. What's good with you, Gay? How you doing, brother? Greg, you got the screen. How you doing, Greg? What's up, Raider Ray? How you feeling, bro?
Gabe, chilling right now.
Dirty?
Hey, you doing big things over there, Raider Ray, man. I like how your channel's going, man.
Hey,
Congratulations to you.
I appreciate that, bro.
Oh yeah. So you got your prediction, huh? Kiss my ass, huh?
Yeah, that's my prediction, bro. The Chargers kiss my ass as we walk away with the win, bro.
Bro, you came in hot, so I'm coming in hot with you, bro.
I feel you, man. That's why I typed it and didn't say it.
I wonder what DC's week 1 record is.
Ooh, Dirty, run it.
That's a random little fun fact to have. I might have to look that up. You know what I mean? The last
He comes out, he usually typically plays pretty hot. Even last year with the Baltimore Ravens game, bro. Like that game was wild, but DC was slinging the rock. So
remember that game against the Saints where they won in overtime the day?
Yep. Hey, that's in recent. Hey, those are 2 good games to reference. If he comes out playing like that, I feel pretty good about the Chargers matchup.
Hell yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, it is.
He comes out on fire. And we have this 4-game winning streak, and then we gotta eliminate that 3 to 4 game drop off that we've been typically having for the last 5 years.
So I got the answer to the question. Not to cut you off, Coach. 5-3. He's 5-3 all time. 5-3 all time.
Nice.
Well, you got to really count the beginning years too. He went like pretty much.
I counted everything. Everything.
I know,
what about Herbert? Do Herbert.
Years were pretty hard to win.
You really can't do Herbert. He's been in the league 2 years. So what kind of numbers are you really going to compare?
Hey, I'm looking for 50-50. I'm looking for nothing. I'm looking for anything I can take.
Yeah, I feel you. I don't like comparing records when they're not the same. You know what I mean? When you got somebody that's 1-1 versus somebody that's 5-3. You know what I mean?
I think the Raiders offense can have the defense of the Chargers on their heels a little bit, being a little bit unpredictable and being able to control tempo. And dude, have y'all seen Brandon Bolden? That boy is jacked. Like, he looks good in the silver and black. He is huge. You should see him standing next to Amir Abdullah. I'm kind of curious what kind of role Brandon Bolden's going to have week 1 because we didn't see him at all in the preseason.
Yep.
Well, he don't run the ball, so he's probably going to be the pass catching guy.
Yeah.
He hardly ever runs the football. And I was at New England, so
you see,
did Herbert start right away?
That bothers me. You keep a running back who doesn't run the ball. Why?
And they
get rid of Kenyon Drake. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I could give it. I could give him that Drake looked like he wasn't healthy. It looked like he still was bothered, and then I don't know if he wanted to play or but we got something for him. And
I think he has the Rashard role.
Who, Bolden?
We got something for who? We got something for Kenyon?
Did we?
No.
Hell
no. We let him go? We didn't release him? Oh, right.
We didn't trade him. We cut him. Bye. Get out of here.
Well, in my days, it was, Kenyon Drake was the epitome of the pass catching running back.
Right.
And he can run the ball also. If you look at Bolden's pass, was with New England. He never did that.
You said the epitome of catching the ball out of the backfield?
Kenyon Drake, don't tell me Kenyon Drake wasn't good at that.
Bro.
In Miami, in Arizona, he was good.
He was okay. He was never great.
He was better than Bolden.
He was never great.
He was better than Bolden.
He was never great.
Okay, was he better than Bolden?
Amir Abdullah and Brandon Bolden are going to get a ton of reps. I think.
Yeah.
Like Josh Jacobs is going to get predominantly heavy when it comes to the run carries, but you're going to see a good dose of Amir Abdullah and Brandon Bolden in this offense. I think a lot more than early on than a Zamir White or a Britton Brown.
Right.
Hey, did you see Sean Johnson's thing with us? Says last time DC lost in week 1 was 2018.
Yep.
Hey, I'll take it.
That's pretty going.
And it started from 2016. He was like what, 5-1? He's like 5-1 in as far as I think his record. Let me see.
Yeah, because his first 2 years in the league, the team was trash. It was like 4-12.
Yeah, his first game was against the Jets. I remember.
Yeah.
All right, bro. We're hitting up on 2 hours, bro. I'm only gonna do 2 hours. I'm doing it every week, so you guys are more than welcome to come anytime. I love comments, and if you want to subscribe, go to subscribe, bro. I'm not really tripping on that. I love talking football with all you guys, man. I love all your perspective. I know my bro Dirty just got here a little later, but check out. So, Dirty, what do you expect for this whole game? coming into season 1, bro? And then we're gonna finish it up with that, and then it'll be a wrap. We'll go through everybody. So
What I expect from week 1, I expect to see nothing but starters, of course, because it's week 1. I'll tell you this, man. I don't even have any high expectations of anything, man. I want to see a solid football game. Win or lose, I just want to be in the contest the whole way through. Now, of course, I want to win, but I want it to look like a football team that's on the verge of just, devastating greatness. That's just what I want to see, man. I want the dub, of course, but if it's a close game and we lose by a field goal at the end, I ain't gonna trip so much. I ain't gonna trip as hard as I would if we got just flattened out like 35 to nothing. Then I'd be highly pissed off. But if we lose like 21-24 with a last-second field goal, whatever, we was in it. Yeah, I mean, we was in it. We should have blocked the field goal. That's just how I look at it.
thank you, brother. Rafi, talk to me, brother. I'll cap the phone.
Okay, so I was agree with Raider Ray about the case of Brandon Bolden because Brandon Bolden has a natural leadership. And to combine to Bolden and of course Amir Abdullah are dynamite because that was the favorite for the role as the catching back. But for me, Bolden, it's like a capable receiver who has a lengthy history of Josh McDaniels. Both are ample experience on that special teams. So they can afford to keep foreign running backs on the league roster, and they're probably going to start about Josh Jacobs and the rookie Samir White. They're gonna be like some high expectations about the week 1, but I will do whatever it takes about the starters. Because if they got JC Jackson, which is out for the game, I think we had a great opportunity. We had a great experience. And we need to worry about because right now the offensive and the defensive line for the Raiders are very huge. And we could talk about the last game between Raiders versus Chargers, but all the Chargers fans is claiming that this is going to be a tie, but no. It's not going to be a tie because we hit him up. Just like the Tupac song, we hit him up, and of course, it's all about the defense. The defense and offensive line are really dangerous. And I hope to see Derek Carr and, of course, Davante Adams to complete a great chemistry here. And I would love to see some rookies like Luke Masterson, Samir White, and of course, there's Neil Farrell Jr. who had a good accomplishment right here. But it is about power, productivity, and of course, natural leadership, because that's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for the new regime. Because if we don't respect about that, then what should we happen right now? So I have to go to the defense right here. Defense and the offensive line always got first. Because no matter what happens, it's always going to be first to see what's the weakest point for the Chargers.
There you go, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Ray, talk to me, brother. Overall,
Really, man.
When you see the team on the field, what is it that you want to see?
I just want to see this. I want to see this offense explode and just hit the season running. I don't want to see, just what could be. I want to see the work that these guys have been putting in this entire offseason. I want to see that connection with Devontae early and often. I want to see Waller get those matchups. I want to see how Josh McDaniels handles hey, if Devontae's getting doubled, I want to see his offense shift and get Hunter involved, or all the pieces that you can interchange out. I just want to see the offense kind of explode onto the scene, be balanced in its attack. I think Josh Jacobs is actually going to have a sleepy good game. The defensive side of the football, I want to just see these guys pin their ears back and get after it. I want to see if Mad Max is in mid-season form. I want to see Russian coverage work together. I want to see communication on the back end of this defense. I want safeties talking to DBs talking to linebackers getting the defensive linemen involved and just working as one unit. I want to see Jonathan Abram get involved in blitz packages and get disruptive behind the line of scrimmage. Really, you guys, I just want to see everything that we've been building up for this entire offseason. I just want to finally see it when the lights come on. So really, man, that's all I see.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate your view on that, bro. Pharaoh, talk to me.
Man, I'm just gonna keep it simple, man. I want to see playmakers make plays. I want to see the guys that is supposed to make plays make plays. I think that if I see a little bit of miscommunication here and some mistakes here on offense and defense, I'm not gonna be really too hard on them because it is a new offense, it is a new defense. But I want to see our great players play well. I want to see DC play well. I want to see DA play well. I want to see Renfro get his catches. I want to see Waller make some plays. I want to see all the players that some of the guys that you guys mentioned today. You know what I mean? Like I want to see the marquee guys make plays because those are the guys that we kind of count on that to be there week in and week out. So if those guys play well, everything's gonna be looking good for the season. If those guys don't play well, then we can kiss whatever dreams, expectations we got. We could forget about it. So just playmakers need to make plays. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. All right, Gabe, talk to me, bro.
Bro, I just wanna first of all, I want to see Carr just have that confidence in the guys the weapons that he has around him because he has them now. He ain't got to be worried about anything else. Like he has the guys that he needs around him now. Show the confidence, show the the trust that you have in those guys, and on the defensive side, because I think if Carr does that, this offense is the way it's only going to take. This Carr's going to be how far this team goes, pretty much, offensively and defensively. But defensively, I think we just need that line, man. That defensive line. If that defensive line can perform to what I think it can perform to, I think it just takes off all the pressure from the the back end. So that's all I want to see. I want to see that defensive line dominate like I know they can.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Coach Gravy, talk to me, brother.
I want to eliminate the first game. I want to eliminate my concerns from that point on. When my concern is the offensive line and the defensive line. So if we establish that from the get-go, then my worries will be and it's steady, especially offensively. And I want to see how we're running the football with how he mixes it up. I'm excited to see the energy and the explosiveness that McDaniels talks about and see if it does happen, because you heard it from Gruden, you heard it from every other offensive coach we had. We're going to be explosive. Now I feel that we can be explosive with what we got. And then, as far as what Pharaoh said, playmakers doing plays, I agree with that. I'm looking forward to seeing Devontae and Carr reconnect, but I want to see Jacobs and Zamir White and Brown explode on them dudes. I want to see how that works out.
Sure, that's what's up. For me, bro, man, thank you guys for all your opinion, man. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for your time. You know what I mean? Appreciate you guys being here with me, especially everybody in the chat too, man. Thank you guys for being a part of it. Me personally, bro, I want to look for presence. And what I mean by that is like the presence of them on the field. When you look at certain teams, when you've seen them lining up, you see the comfortability, you see the confidence, you see all that presence. Like, this is our field. This is what we're doing. I want to see that. A lot of the times when I'm looking at the team and the way they're lined up, the way they're standing, their posture, everything, it just looks like they didn't know what was going on. I want to see that confidence, that presence on the field when we're lined up. You ain't going nowhere. This is our field. That's what I want to see. Everything else is going to take care of itself. That dog, I want to see everybody's dog. That's my thing. And once we set that tone, bro, we're going to be dominant, bro. You know what I mean? We're going to have some losses. Hey, some of the best professional players have had more losses than they have wins. And you know what I mean? So I think that's going to be the tone for the whole season. And one of the players that I'm really excited to see is going to be Abrams. I give that guy shit because where I'm from, we give you shit because we want you to do good, bro. I want to see that motherfucker just ball out, bro. That's one of my biggest things that I want to see, because I've liked him since day one. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, man, that's where I'm at, man. So we're going to finish wrapping everything up. Pharaoh, go to tell everybody where you're at, and we'll just go along the lines like that, brother.
Got you, man. Hey, man, just like it says on my hat, man, Pharaoh NFL, man. You can find me anywhere on social media, man, with that name. But more importantly, if you haven't subscribed already, I do got a YouTube channel, Pharaoh NFL, PHAROAH NFL. Go ahead and subscribe, like the videos, and support everybody on the panel, man, that got a channel, man. Go ahead and if you're a Raider fan, you support Raider Nation, anything Raiders, man, go ahead and subscribe to everybody on the panel, man. And Low, man, it's been a pleasure to have me on. Having me on the show, man. Appreciate it.
Brother. Always.
Hey, bro, I want to thank you guys for having me on, man. I always enjoy sitting down and talking Raider football with the family. So I appreciate all you guys. Tonight I'm doing a live show. So if anybody that's in the chat or anybody in the panel wants to pull up and talk, I'll be having a live show tonight just to talk about a few things. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, it's Raider Ray, same as the username that's on screen. So you guys can find there live shows, weekly content gets dropped. So that's all I got going on for me.
Thank you, brother. Thanks. I'll show up too, man. Well, I know we'll all show up. You know what I mean? We'll all support you, brother. Definitely. Rafi, talk to me, brother.
Okay, you can find me on YouTube as Rafael Chacin, and of course, I love to see all the Raider content creators. I'm doing the opinions about what's going on with the Raiders, the news, the rumors, because right now I'm still struggling because right now I had to schedule between work and of course a family. But it's always a pleasure to have me with you guys, with the Raiders content creators, and I'm always being part of the Raider Nation because right now I got a podcast called Silver and Black Experience, which is right now. I have a special guest coming up on Wednesday, which I will not detail about it because we have just like 8 days before the NFL regular season, and of course I'm gonna bring something special for you guys for the Raider Nation right there. And of course, much love and respect. You can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at Capitan Rafucho, and of course on YouTube, Rafael Chacin. So stay tuned, folks, and of course, Raider Nation for life.
Thank you, brother. Gabe, talk to me, brother.
You're on mute, bro.
Yeah, you're on mute.
I said I appreciate you having me on. Shit, fucking hot out here and shit, but you know,
like you must wait, right?
For real, bro. It's just you can find me at Raider Game.
When you finna go inside, bro? When you
huh? What happened?
I said, when you finna go inside? Because I know you had your setup like inside, right? Before it was inside.
Before it's just I don't know, bro. Just having being able. I think I'm gonna do my next show inside shit. Nah, but you can catch me. It's too hot out here, but you can catch me right here, Raider Game. Shit, one channel. One word, just like that, Raider Game. So yeah, man, just stay tuned. We're gonna have some big things coming. So 420 all day, man.
What's hot? What's hot over there, Gabe?
Like 105 right now.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 105 in LA.
Damn.
That's crazy, man. 12 was it 12 right now? 12 p.m. You're on the West Coast, right? Raider Game. Yeah, man. So
what is it, Dirty? 113 predicted
I'm
today.
looking it up right now as we're talking. Right now.
See, I can't even imagine a triple digits, man. I'm out here in like 70
right
degrees,
now
80 degrees.
Right now it's 103 here.
Yeah, it's not. It's 100 right here, right now.
It's gonna get hotter too, for sure. Just a little bit hotter.
They hit 112 today.
Yeah, that's nice and crispy. That's nice and crispy for sure.
The only thing working is my AC today, bro.
Hey, bro, trip out. I went to barbecue last night. I just put 2 coals, bro. That's all I needed. I barbecued like a whole chicken. I just put the shit in the barbecue.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, Gravy. I know you just only have your IG, but man, but go to let them know where they can find you.
You get at me out Gravy Top Shelf Oils. If all you guys it's a business that I have that it's a beard product. Many of my folks out there have it, and just to let everybody know, you get at me at Gravy Top Shelf Oils just on IG. Look at the link. It has my products on there, and get all you gentlemen that want to look nice at the games and stuff, and nice and shiny and stuff.
I gotta get me one, man. I got a little beard, but it need a little maintenance, I think.
There you go.
All I can grow, I'm like I'm Mexican like to the fullest. I can only just grow here.
And, Gabe got some.
Yeah.
He likes the. He got the Amber Rose. He got the Amber Rose.
Yeah, the Amber Rose.
Yeah.
He knows.
Product, man. It smells really, really well. I like it. But yeah, man, thank you guys for coming up. Next Saturday we will be here. I'll have a little intro. I'll have a whole nother thing. We'll talk about the game, talk about what happens. Anybody that you'll see me on Everybody Out Live Room. I jump on and off. But we'll have the show every Saturday morning right here, 10 to 12, finishing up, talking about the week, talking about the going into the game on Sunday. But yeah, man, thank you guys for everybody just pulling up, man. Appreciate you. And hey, Jack Kenna, we're taking off, brother, but man, don't worry about it, brother. Hey, man, love you, Kenna, man. We'll see you guys soon, all right? You guys take it easy. Peace.
All right.
Peace out, brother. Peace out, brother.
Y'all.
I don't believe they're frauds. I think they'll be there in the end.
What a season for the Raiders. Yeah, considering everything that they went through, right? From the John Gruden things to the Henry Ruggs to the players with the gun
playing Call of Duty.
Playing Call of Duty.
Either, but they're not even close to being the best team in their division. They're a wild card team at best.
If Derek Carr is not the quarterback of the Raiders, they're not here.
Kind of remake their roster a little bit here today. They matched Chandler Jones with Max Crosby. They had Rocky Sin in the secondary. They lose Yannick Ngakoue.
Devontae Adams, in a massive move here, MJ, is headed to the Las Vegas Raiders.
NFL star, NBA star. Charles Winston jersey.